And we should be live. I don't know. It's kind of weird starting without an intro, you know. That's usually what other people do, is they have some kind of intro to a live stream, but like I just decide to do this random open. just jump scare you with like immediately. You don't get any time to prepare. It's just me immediately. No warning. No. Oh, you got 2 minutes before I appear. No, I'm just immediately in your face. Ahoy hoy! How's it going, everyone? We've had a few people in chat. Not a lot of people here for whatever reason. Maybe I should have given it more time to the premiere thing. Or maybe I should somehow let people know more about, like, I'm thinking of doing this more regularly, like doing live streams more regularly on a... So for me it's a Monday, because I live in the future. But for everyone else, it will be a Sunday. That's if you don't live in Monday. Well, technically, for some people, I suppose it would be Sunday and Monday, depending on how long I go for. Yeah, it's one of those things where I do try to... I do have a bit of trouble with streaming, and there's a few things that I could probably do a lot better when it comes to streaming, and so I don't want to put like a whole lot of effort, because there was a time when I did stream a lot, but I feel like the problem there is that I streamed too much, so it didn't really feel like anything that people needed to catch, but it also didn't feel like anything that it wasn't something that I also did well. But now that I have started streaming, you know, I'm putting a lot more focus into actually making the stream a good stream. So yeah. If you're gonna start, I mean, then give... Oh yeah, I forget about the ads. Yeah. Well, don't worry. You didn't miss too much. You just missed me going about how I just jump scare you immediately. Anyway, how's... Oh, Livcott Edwards, a new member. Thank you. Welcome to... I don't have like a thing where I say about... I don't have a member's name. But I do appreciate it. I need more of them. What was I gonna... So, where should I start? Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Premium gets no ads. So, anyway, good personal news. Let's start with something positive. I know that, like, when it comes to a lot of people talking about stuff, like, negativity is something that I think there's a lot of, especially in the trans community. And the reason why is because there are a lot of attacks on trans people. And so it may be something that only affects me, because it is personal news, but I feel like some positivity is needed, right? If we just keep on saying, oh, this bad thing happens, it drains a lot of people. So I want to, like, share some positive stuff that has happened with me. One of the big things... So, what to start? Because there's two main things. So, the first thing that I'm going to go with is... I'll talk about... well, I think the thing that leads into it is I had a little bit of more money than I expected to have when it comes to taxes. Because, you know, you got to fill out the taxes, and I'm out of I can fix that. It's a problem with this particular camera. Let me... oh, that's the wrong thing. Properties, there we go. Configure video, and we'll just go to camera control and turn the autofocus off. There we go. Now I should remain in focus all the time. Anyway, So, I did taxes, and had a bit of money left over. Taxes are very important to do. Make sure you do yours. But after that, I decided, okay, well, seeing as I have a bit of money lying around, I'll go to the dentist. Because I need to go to the dentist. I've known that I have needed to go to the dentist for a while. So I went to the dentist, and I am finally going to get a filling for a tooth that has needed a filling for a while. And there's also a a wisdom tooth, singular, not plural, that I'm getting removed. And that is something that I'm going to get done next Thursday. I'm also going to get like a lot of, apparently there's some calcified plaque on my teeth. So that is something that also I am hopefully going to get removed, but that's at a later date because apparently there's a specialist that I need to see for that. So hopefully that all goes well. There is a asterisk to the filling, because apparently there is a problem where if the filling is because I've got to remove something, not a tooth, it's dental decay. So if they remove that and things go badly, then it needs a root canal, which is like more money than I have. And I'd hope that if I do need a root canal, it's like, hey, can you like knock the price down? Because I can't afford like a $2,000 root canal. Well, I don't know why it's so expensive when like everything else is not so expensive, but that is the one thing that could go badly. And if that happens, if I do end up needing a root canal, then that will be something that I'll probably try to manage when I get to it. So yeah. But that's not the only good news. I also have ordered a IPL device, because one of the things is that shaving all the time is really annoying, and I feel like I can see like what remains, even if I have done it to the best of my abilities. It still feels like I can see everything that remains. So then, like if I'm going out or something, I often put on makeup or something. So I'm getting an IPL device. Hopefully that gets rid of it. Hopefully I can not have to shave at least for a few years. It is something which I get very annoyed at, and I'm sure a lot of other trans people can relate. Especially when, like, the shaver that I use, it's electric shaver, and it is something that can't. There's bits that it can't quite get, and I shaved once with one of the razors that you do that with, and it kept on cutting me. I don't like that. I'm not shaving like that again. I refuse. So I stick with electric razors, and hopefully that I can not have to shave with electric razors. So Electricity said, I tried an IPL device for a while, but I don't think I'm using it right. I need to start my regimen again. Yeah, it is something that I will probably need to be consistent with. And being consistent is very important, I think, when it comes to that kind of stuff. But who knows? It could be something where it just works. It might be something where it is annoyingly slow. It will probably be annoyingly slow. But yeah, even with our NHS in the UK, I have to pay a hygienist and any fillings that aren't metal based. Yeah, I have to pay it. It is so dental care. Your teeth aren't included in healthcare here in New Zealand. It is something where I can go to the hospital and it's basically free. However, if I want to go to the dentist, I have to pay. Now, to be fair, the dentist is free up until, I think, about 20-something years of age, or 18. I know that it's at least free up to 18. But beyond that, it's a bit more expensive. And especially if you need to get something done, which I guess is understandable, but it's still annoying. And I think that a lot of people who... I think there are a lot of people who need dental care that aren't getting dental care because there is a cost barrier. And so that is why I support the forbidden... The absolute... If you talk about this in conspiracy circles, you're getting cancelled to say that if you say that you support fluoride. Fluoride? Is it? Fluorine? Fluoride? One of the two. I forget whether it's N or D at the end. But I think it's fluoride. That's why I support fluoride in water. Because it is something that does help with dental care. And I haven't seen anything that shows that in the amounts that it is in water that it is harmful. So it is one of those things where, I mean, yeah, if you were to ingest straight fluoride, then I don't imagine that would be great, but we aren't doing that exactly. It's, yeah, like, it's far more of a benefit than a danger. Yeah, absolutely. And then, wait, hold on. I'm a bit confused. I see people, I see different chat messages, like and you have laser hair removal treatment on your face, and if so, how long ago? I haven't had it yet. I'm going to get IPL, but maybe you're talking to someone else. I don't know. Chat can be fast. We put literally 1 part per million in drinking water. Yeah, it is something where, like, if you don't like fluoride in your water, you got fluoride in your toothpaste, right? It's something where I feel like it is something where it is more beneficial to have it in the water than, like, of course we're not ingesting straight fluoride. Like, I wouldn't advocate for that, but like that's not the issue. That's not the issue. We're not trying to we're not trying to do that. It's one of those things where in small amounts anything is fine. You know, and like, sure, there are some stuff that are more dangerous in small amounts, but I don't see the problem with the small amount of fluoride that we do have, and it seems to be more of a benefit. I mean, that's the whole thing with vaccines, isn't it? Sure, some of the ingredients may look scary, but the overall benefit that you get from a vaccine is better than any possible effect that any of the ingredients might have on your body. So yeah, what have we got? We've got fluoridation of water has worked wonders in the UK. Yeah, it is something which I feel like people are against fluoridation because they feel like it's a scary thing. When they imagine it, they imagine something that's really, really, how do I put it? They imagine, you know, a huge concentration which is going to just screw up everything, but no, that's not how it works. I disagree with medicating a population through the water supply. It's one thing where it is, what are we... I feel like it is something where it is is it going to have positive impacts or bad impacts, right? Like, to some extent, we do stuff with the water supply to make it healthier. We don't require everybody to have their own water filtration system in their house, you know. Whereas line, it's something where I think it should be open. Like, it should be something which, whatever is put in the water supply is completely open. People know about it so that people can say, hey, I don't want this. But I also think that there are sometimes things have a greater benefit than than negatives. The technician that I spoke with claimed that IPL slows the growth of anything but is nothing near permanent. Yeah, it is something that I have heard can be when IPL is permanent, it's like permanent to like 5 years. Yeah, the line is fluoride in the water. It's not. Yeah, it's not like we're putting vaccines in the water. That would actually probably be like really bad if like given that vaccines are there to cause an immune response. It's like a really bad thing to put vaccines in. I assume this is not medical advice, but I assume putting vaccines in water is probably not a good thing, but I would not have enough medical knowledge on that. Maybe it is a good thing to some extent, but I'm not going to speak either way on that. I do not care if fluoridation of tap water is beneficial. It is tantamount to medication by force by the state, and what if you do not want it? I think the problem is that we do live in a system where it is hard to get, like, where we could say, oh hey, just, brush your teeth twice a day, but I think that there's a lot of people that don't do that, and I think, like, ideally you'd have your own, you could have your own system that can fluoridate your water for you, but, like, I don't know if that is even possible. It's something where at certain points, we do have to accept that there will be things in the water that maybe we don't want. I have lived in areas where there's been, I think, chlorine in the water. And when it comes to chlorine in the water, that is something that a lot of people are against because they can taste it. And it changes. It changes it changes how it tastes and stuff like that, and some people don't like the idea of ingesting chlorine. But when it comes to that, it's, what is the chlorine working against? Well, it's cleaning your water for you. I think that there are certain measures that you can take that are more beneficial for a society as a whole. And sometimes the good of doing that outweighs the bad. Oh yeah, there's always bottled water, isn't there? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and it is something which sure, brush your teeth. That is a good thing, but for some people, like myself, I have. Yeah, the chlorine is there so that you don't die of diseases. There are some diseases which have been in water, like what is it? Crypto. There's bacteria called crypto something, and that was found in water in Queenstown, and so people have been required to boil the water but that's more of failing infrastructure. I don't know if chlorine is going to fix that, but yeah, especially after the Christchurch earthquakes, there was chlorine in the water because of the potential risk to the tap water that there was, and people noticed the chlorine afterwards, and they're like, we don't like this, but ultimately it's better than everyone having to boil their water. But yeah, contamination is what gives water flavour. That is an argument for poisoning the water supply. Very, very, like, we're getting into chaos realm now. So we need fluorine in the water, like the majority of us need iodine and salt so we don't get fat necks. Yeah, like, I actually prefer to have iodized salt because I probably don't get enough iodine in my diet just through natural means. So it is something where I do specifically go for iodized salt. And I think there's a lot of things that are helpful. That when we consider it on a are we kind of in some level being forced? Yeah, we're kind of being forced into certain things, but is the benefit outweighing the negative? And I think in cases like water fluoridation and water chlorination to fix it, I think the being for I think it's more an opt out, right? If you want to opt out of water fluoridation, then yeah, you drink water. But the most of us don't have the ability to fluoridate our own water, to buy fluoridated drinking bottled water. It is something which I think it's an opt-out, and I think that's sometimes better than opt-in. Opt-in is usually a thing where it costs money, and not everyone has the money to do so. And I think that's kind of the whole thing. Like, when in society we have a lot of opt-out things, like tech. I don't know if you can really opt out of taxes, but taxes are something that is a bit more opt out rather than opt. That's a bad example. But like private healthcare, for example, that is public healthcare, for example, that is you can opt out of public healthcare and go into private and get like a private thing, but it's going to cost you money. That's what your taxes go towards. Is the public healthcare, at least if you live in New Zealand and not America. So, I think, yeah. And yes, this is live, so that's why this is nowhere near as coherent as one of my usual videos. But it's fun to like interact with people in the chat. I like seeing the chat scroll by. Anyway, let's talk about something that's was meant to be a attack against trans people, but is actually kind of based. Let's go over to this. So, there was a new trans flag that dropped. This one here, and people love it. People absolutely love it. It looks pretty cool. And it was meant to be something that was against trans people. I mean, the account that posted it was Gays Against Groomers, the well-known thing that doesn't really do anything for gays. Oh wait, I'm thinking of LGBT Alliance. They all kind of merged together. I do know that there are straight people also. Let's skip some ads. I'm being generous. But anyway, I think they're headed by straight people or something. And they decided to make this gender ideology hydra. And with the quote, "Gender ideology isn't a neo-religious cult. It is a biotechnological warfare in drag, like a multi-headed hydra with claws in every corporate sector." And then they made this, which honestly looks cool. And trans people have gone, yeah, this looks cool. Let's appropriate it. And so, like, people in the I just realised that it's kind of people in the comments, no offense, saying no, this goes hard though, because yeah, it does. I think this is one of the best things that as a community we can do is if someone tries to make something that is transphobic or tries to make something that looks cool that is transphobic, take it for ourselves. Why not? That they hate when things like this is done, because it's because when something is meant to be an attack and we go, no, this is just something that looks cool, then it doesn't work for them. And I think that is one of the best kind of things that you can do in in situations where people are just trying to be dicks. It's totally AI generated too. Oh, is it? Damn. Oh, I guess I can. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see it. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to make a non-AI generated version, so that we can, something that is like. And surely someone will have done this by now. I just haven't seen it. But yeah, it would be cool if we had like a non-AI generated version that was like inspired by this, so that we can just, we can just have it for a cool flag. I think this is cool. I like when it's like, oh yes, that is ours now, and then they don't get to use it as an attack. I like that kind of thing. I think that is something that is really cool. Another example of positive news, really. I mean, it's not personal positive news, but I think it's positive news in the trans community. A lot of people, has said about, Hail Hydra, and I get that Hydra is the bad guys, but, this is cool. And like, look, when it comes to things, trans people are kind of seen as the bad guys, so it can be fun to lean into. It can lean into it, right? Yes, the trans agenda, which is really just to be treated with kindness and respect. So, anyway, there is one thing that I do want to talk about, which I haven't mentioned in the title or anything, but that's because I just remembered it. So one thing that I am not really, and I know that there will be people that are disappointed, but I'm not a vegan. However, I don't really see any good arguments against veganism. Generally it is, I just want to eat meat, so I'm going to make fun of vegans. And vegans can be kind of annoying sometimes. That's like the arguments against veganism. If there were a alternative to meat that were low cost and I could get more and was more readily available than let's say factory farmed meat, I would be absolutely okay with it. However, there is a bit of a problem in the US, particularly in Florida, where Ron DeSantis decides, very ironic that his name is Meatball Ron, or is that the thing that Trump gave him? But very ironic that he's called Meatball Ron and has decided to ban lab-based meat. You'd think that he would come out of a lab. At least meatballs are very much processed, and so. We've had them trying to ban lab-based meat. The party of free market banning, intervening in the free market. So when it comes to that, we've had John Fetterman agreeing with Ron DeSantis on the whole lab-based meat thing. So if I go to here, John Fetterman says, pains me deeply to agree with Crash and Burn Ron, but I co-signed this. As a member of Senate AG Dems and as some dude who would never serve that slop to my kids, I'll stand with American ranchers and farmers. This is something which I feel like, I'm not an American, but I will call this anti-American. The whole free market, free speech, all that. Well, not really free speech. This isn't really speech, but it is against like the whole idea that a lot of Americans have about just let the free market sort it out. And it's not something that is a rational ban, right? It's like, what is the bad thing about lab-grown meat? It's people say, it's more cancerous because it's grown in a vat, and it's like, well, it's or it's more cancerous because it's grown from stem cells or something like that. And it's like, well, I don't quite think that holds up. Of course, I do remember hearing something about how red meat is carcinogenic, and so lab-based red meat would be carcinogenic. So, you know, I think that I don't really find any good arguments against it. But John Fetterman, the absolute genius of a man, decided to have a banger argument against it, saying, by the way, this is the thing that makes lab meat. Yeah, there's just this scary contraption that makes... This is what we should be worried about. Technology. I mean, it's caveman behavior. You know, like, the scary thing is bad, so therefore we should not... Therefore it's, you know, this thing looks scary, so therefore it's bad. You know, yeah, 5G and wind turbines are another thing that some people are against. And I like how everybody, you know, Hank Green just said you're being silly. This is the thing that makes beer. This machine fills up water bottles. You know, a lot of things for pasteurized milk and stuff. This is what you're eating now, which is a good point. This looks worse than that looks more scary than this. What else? This is the thing that makes eggs. This is the thing that makes the boing sound when you flick it. I just love how he's getting cooked. I think it is really stupid to be against lab-grown. Like, if you don't want it, fine. You don't have to have it, but you do need to realize that it is probably a lot more ethical to have lab-grown meat than farmed meat, right? I think that it is something where, on an ethical level, like, vegans are like correct to some extent. When it comes to the reason why I'm not a vegan, and I'm not even a vegetarian, but I do cut down on meat, and I think it's one of those things where we do live in a world where it's just hard to avoid meat. Like, meat is so ubiquitous; it's like in everything, and like. There is a bit of like, when it comes to cheese, I would like a good alternative to cheese, and I would like a cheap alternative to cheese, but I haven't really seen a good cheap alternative to cheese. A good cheap alternative to cheese. But I think that the messaging from vegans should be to cut back, at least, you know. A lot of people do find it hard to just, you know, upend their whole diet, so they don't have the... It is hard to work out, okay, how do I make a plant-based version of this? Like, if I want to have macaroni cheese, it is hard enough to make macaroni cheese that is dairy-free, let alone... or not dairy-free, because the cheese part is still... It is hard enough to make macaroni cheese that is better for people with lactose intolerance. That is something that I have found difficult, but I have managed. But, like, replacing the cheese part of macaroni cheese would also be quite difficult. Have you tried to make your own cheese? No. As someone who had to go gluten-free suddenly, a diet change is a lot of energy to maintain. Oh, absolutely. I think that people don't really understand that. And sometimes, yes, you do have to change your diet. You do have to... If you're suddenly lactose intolerant, then that is a diet change that involves... can involve, like, big changes. And, like, even cheese is quite ubiquitous in a lot of things. You go to any... If you go to any burger restaurant thing, then you will have to buy a burger that has cheese in it. Or I suppose you could try to ask for no cheese, but all of them have cheese, so you do have to specifically ask for no cheese. It is something that I find that dairy and meat products, or animal products, are very ubiquitous throughout a lot of food, and it is something where we should be cutting back on that, given that that farming of animals is quite environmentally damaging. That is something, it has caused havoc on the environment. You think that, it's just a bit of methane release? No, that causes issues with a lot of ecosystems, with runoff and stuff like that. I think nitrogen runoff or something like that can cause problem with swamps, which are very important for maintaining the environment. Cheese has less lactose than milk. Yeah, that is a reason why I was able to replace the milk and macaroni cheese, but not the cheese. And that has been a thing which it's something that I've been aware of. So if I want to make something that for someone who is lactose intolerant, I will usually replace the milk. All farming is dangerous to the environment. Maybe. Yeah, I think with like even agricultural farming, but I think the thing is, it's when it comes to farming for things like cattle, I think the issue is that you have to not only farm the cattle, you also have to farm for the food for that. Like they don't just. It's not just here's a bit of area where you eat grass all day. No, you got to actually feed them food if you want, a decent sized cow. Otherwise, you need a lot of space for a single cow. You can use a lot less space when it comes to farming of crops. No, a burger at McDonald's doesn't have cheese. Cheeseburgers have cheese. I distinctly remember a lot of burgers at McDonald's having cheese, and not just the cheeseburger. Maybe it's different in New Zealand. I have no idea what it's like in... Actually, I do remember the McRib does not have cheese. So you might be right on that. But I can't remember any other thing. The McRib was nice, though. Cattle, especially beef, extraordinarily bad for environment. Yeah, and like here's the thing, I don't get why everyone likes beef. Like, it is one of the blandest meats out there. One of the most environmentally destructive meats out there. Steak, for example. The only way steak tastes good is with flavor added in, right? I also don't get the hype with lamb as well. Lamb and steak are just two things that I'm not personally a big fan of. But yeah, I don't get the hype around it. I don't get it. And Iris says, eat more bugs. Based. Like, I have legitimately eaten bugs, and it's not as bad as people say. It's like, yeah, it's like a sort of thing of, we've seen these little things crawl around. We don't I feel like the difference between bugs and something like cattle or beef is that, like, beef seems to be abstracted a bit from the animal. Like a steak it's very much, we don't see the entire animal. We don't see it being gross. Whereas bugs, we can go out and see like a grasshopper being gross, so that when we have a grasshopper in our house, it's like, ugh. But like, I've eaten them and it's fine. You just have to get over that initial kind of reaction that you have. You don't gotta eat. yeah, you don't gotta eat them in bug form. They have flour, and I think people like they hear bugs and they think ugh, because they think of like crickets or not crickets, but like a lot of the kind of like cockroaches and stuff. Stuff that initially we think of as gross, and I don't think that's it's something that once you get past that, it's fine. Red meat is awful for you, cholesterol in your heart and liver. Anyways, yeah, that's what I said. I think I said something about how if lab meat is carcinogenic, well, that's because it's based on real meat. So they're only gross if they're eating literally bad, rotten food. I don't know much. If I am buying bugs to eat, then I don't care too much about I don't care too much about what they're eating, because I assume that the people that raise the bugs are feeding them good stuff, making sure that they're raised for my consumption, just like any other meat. Like if someone were to if I were to for some reason decide to buy a steak. That's something that very rarely happens. But let's say that I did need to buy it for something. I would assume that the person that raised that animal raised it to be fit for human consumption. Lobster and crabs are bugs. Yeah, true. People don't have a problem with that. I don't know if I've had any real crab meat. I've had like some of the surimi stuff. But the thing is, I don't know if that's actually crab meat or not. I have heard people say that it is crab meat. Some people say that it isn't. But there's a ton of science on how to raise mealworms. Probably. I personally am fine with. I'm fine with other people managing stuff. I have a limited amount of time to do my own stuff. So I think that the way we have society, where people do their own stuff, I do my own stuff, collaborative efforts to make sure that everyone is good, I think that's a good way of doing things. I don't think I need to live on a farm and raise 30 different types of crops just so that I can have things to eat all the time. I prefer the way where I can make money by providing some kind of value that people want, and then I get money and go buy stuff that someone else has produced which has its own value. I don't want to have to make my own clothes, right? But yeah. Anyway, what are people saying? Imitation crab is fish ground into paste and formed into logs. Okay. I mean, that sounds gross when you put it like that, right? But I'm still going to eat it. I mean, I've eaten sweetbreads before. I think that the issue that a lot of people have is they don't really think too much about what they do currently eat, and so they go, oh well, I'm just going to eat it without question. Whereas when there's something that's bugs, it's like, oh well, that and I don't like to have that mentality where it's like, oh, just because you have an initial reaction to it. I actually made a video yesterday on Matt Powell, and this is something that I should actually talk about because I have a big video coming up, going to be hours long. So let me switch to this. But the video on Matt Powell was a lot of the things that he said was, it was just like a visceral reaction that he was having to it. It wasn't anything substantive. He didn't really have a good reason for being against the things that he was being against. And I just realized I'm looking the wrong way for chat. Like my computer monitor for chat is over there, but chat is over here. Maybe I don't know how to fix that. Moves my computer monitor over there. Anyway. But what I was saying is, yeah, I've got a video on Matt Powell coming out, not on my channel. What I want to do is I want to actually collab with a lot of people because I have a huge video coming up and I don't want it to fail. Like, as soon as this video comes out, I want people to be sharing that because it is because essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to premiere the video like a week, like give it a week to stew. And it is going to be a long one. Like, think video essayists like H-Bomber Guy. Except probably not as funny because, you know, I'm not nearly as funny as H-Bomber Guy. But I am gonna make jokes. I need to at least be funnier than Matt Walsh. So, you know, that is something that I'm going to be working on, but I also want to, in the lead up to the video, collab with some people to hopefully drive more traffic so that when the video does come out, it's just so that it can be a success. I don't want to give too much room for it to fail or anything. And so, yeah, and I hope that people appreciate a multi-hour video on, like, the worst human being alive. That is something that I hope that people like. And I have tortured myself for this. 10 hours of Matt Walsh is not a fun thing, and I may have to watch a bit more. It is something which I feel like I have had a lobotomy. It is something where I was stumped while watching it because I wanted to find out, why do people enjoy Matt Walsh's videos? That's a question that I have, and it's like I still don't get it. Like, I kind of get it to some extent now, having watched like 10 of them, but like I don't really get the entry point. Right, the entry point is kind of just what is a woman. I kind of wonder what I kind of wonder, like, if there's growth on his channel at all. Like, we could go to Social Blade. Hold on, let me search up Social Blade. Enter username Matt Walsh. Is he even growing? I assume so. Oh, that's the... Let's just copy and paste the link to this thing. I mean, it used to be a lot bigger and it slowed down. Maybe that's a bit of... Yeah, it kind of seems like he had that boost with the What is a Woman thing. Had another boost around this with probably the Twitter thing, and then it's gone down. Like, that's his whole thing, it seems to be. 0 subscribers for the month of March, and 10,000 for the month of April. He actually lost 10,000 there. So, yeah, it is something which I guess that makes sense. I think that kind of makes sense. It explains a lot, at least. I just realized I wasn't sharing screen. Yeah, so if you can see here how it used to be a lot more, and the video views have kind of... I mean, this is kind of to be expected, where it's the video drop off is a lot less than the subscriber, because this is gained, right? Whereas people, I mean, it's video views gained, but like it's... When it comes to people viewing videos, they kind of just watch videos, and you don't have to gain any new audience for people to still watch your videos. Though it is something that you kind of do need to do sometimes, so, you know. Joe Rogan appearance? Maybe... Are you talking about me going on Joe Rogan? Because like, if you can get me on Joe Rogan, hell yeah. I'm not a big fan of Joe Rogan, I will say that. But like, I think it would be more beneficial for me to go on Joe Rogan than it would be for like Joe Rogan to have me on. So I would take that. I think it would be like a fun thing. Yeah, but I doubt that he would have me on because, like, who am I? I'm playing a walk, but, like, I'm not someone that's well known, and I'd be able to, like, hey, say talk about some stuff that I'm interested in, like trains. I do like trains, but also talk about the Tucker Carlson thing that came from that recently. That was a whatchamacallit, a train wreck. So that would be something interesting to talk about, because it would be like, hey, there's evidence of evolution, and I'll say that we can do like genetic things to work out, okay, who's our closest relative. We can tell that at sometime in the past we used to have 2 separate chromosomes which eventually fused, and that was chromosome 2 we can view this in our genetics. We know a lot more than we do today, of course, than we did a long time ago. No, Joe Rogan is awful, but Matt was on and he was a dick. You'd be yeah, I think that it's one thing that would be more beneficial for me. That's why I wouldn't go. That's why I wouldn't be let on, right? And it's something which would be a great opportunity to just show people that trans people are normal, I think, as well. I think that it is I think that having trans people be more represented is a good thing in talking about people, in talking about us, because it's something where we are often left out of the conversation. I don't like being left out of the conversation. People are more willing to listen to a cis person defend trans people than a trans person defending trans people, because the trans person is obviously biased. But it's like, you don't think that the cis people speaking against trans people could be biased? Like, they're obviously not trans. I don't think that, J.K. Rowling is trans. I mean, people have accused her of being trans, but I don't like to go for the angle of, I don't like to go for the angle of, look, this person could be trans. I'd prefer to go off what people say. I don't like to say, oh, this person could secretly be trans. I have always found that to actually be quite transphobic. And if someone is trans and is secretly trans, that's their business. They have no obligation to share that with anyone. And I find that to try and expose someone as secretly being trans in any form is it's a dick move. Before I came out, there was people, I did drop hints in being trans, there was videos where I talked about, my egg has cracked. It was fun. But the point of that was as a sort of wink and nod at the audience to that, to the people that would get it, not to people that wouldn't get it. Because, it's one of those things where you kind of want to come out, but also you don't want to directly say it before you're ready, and it was something where it was very new to me at the time as well, especially before I was on HRT. You don't know what things are going to be like when you're on HRT, so I'd rather wait till I am on HRT, wait till I'm happy with how HRT has been going. And obviously I did want to do the egg video in April for the April Fool's video, and I didn't want to have to wait too long for that, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because then I'd been, it would have kind of felt a little bit more like following a trend. But then I decided, okay, well, I think it is it June or July? What month is the American Pride Month? Let me just quickly check that. American Pride month. I mean, I'm probably going to get people saying in chat, June. Yeah, June. Yeah, so it would have been in June, because I do remember that I can't remember subscribing to this channel. Well, glad to have you. That's part of the whole thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to we're just hacking accounts. We're all, you know, transprogrammer here. Actually, programming isn't really hacking, is it? No, but you might have subscribed back when I looked a lot different, and maybe not remember. Like, if you remember Nigel Cheesy Hands, if that's someone that you remember, then maybe that's where you ended up subscribing. I could try to actually, like, check, although your name is very generic, so if I were to check comments, I'm not sure, like, if I go, not through what, just what? Yeah, there's more people going, what? So, yeah. Yeah, people remember Nigel Cheesy Hands, the oops guy. Yeah. I haven't, like, really seen anything new. And I don't, like, I know a lot about Nigel Cheesy Hands. I've found, like, a bunch of his accounts and stuff. A lot of it is just him being, you know, having a normal life. And I have no problem with that. It's when you try to sell pseudoscience is when I have a problem with it. And if he were to start on the pseudoscience train again, I would tear into that. But until then, I'm just going to, you know, maybe make the occasional video, but, like, try not to milk it for everything it's worth, you know. Because people do like Nigel Cheesy Hands. I'm going to have a drink because I actually have a very dry mouth. Now I'm out of water, but hopefully that gets me through the next hour or so. What have we got here? We've got I'm confused, nerdy. I'm curious why that's really awful. I actually like this guy. I just feel bad that he doesn't like who he is. Are you talking about me? Because, like, I like who I am. I'm happy now with the body that I've got. And actually, I just realized that, like, it's getting a bit too hot in here, so I'm going to take off. Oh shit! I'm not wearing a bra. Okay, we're gonna, like, leave this on so that. Oh, purposely misgendering me. But yeah, I'm happy how I am now. Like, there are things that I'd like to change, right? You know, the whole facial hair thing, but that's kind of the whole point of ordering IPL. Where did I put I put a remote somewhere, probably on my bed. I can manage. But yeah, it's something where I think a lot of people don't really understand it, right? It's not that I'm necessarily unhappy with everything. Like, sure, there are things that I don't like about me, but there are a lot more things that I like now, right? I like the fact that I look better. I'm far more comfortable in how I look now than I was 2 years ago. Like, we can look at if I go to youtube.com and then go to Planner Walk, because we can see the change in how I look. You know, oh, it says that I'm live. Anyway, can go to here, and we can go to videos, and we can see that, you know, this is how I look today, and a few months ago. I really haven't posted a lot of videos lately. hopefully I can get round to, like... But, you know, we go to here, and it's like... I am not a big fan of how I looked. I'm a much bigger fan of how I look now, and there will... some of it may be the camera, but even, like, on this I'm using the same camera. If we go down to here... I was trying a few different hairstyles. That's why I had that hairstyle on this video. But like, I think I look better. Back when you were attempting the facial hair thing was kind of sad. Oh, like if we go like right back to yeah, to like here. Yeah, I really don't like that. It was like here's the thing. Facial hair just doesn't work on me. It's not a thing of... It's not a thing where I can just grow out a beard and be like, oh yeah, this is a... Because, like, you know, there are people with really good beards that, it's like, you know, I wouldn't mind having that beard for when I, like, do my drag king sort of stuff. When I say the drag king sort of stuff that I do, it's like a thing that I like to... It's a vibe that I like to have. I don't do any, like, performances, in case you're wondering. But, like, if I am going out and I want to have more of a drag king kind of vibe, it's like, I go for, like, a facial hair look that is not how my regular hair would grow. My regular facial hair is really bad at growing in a good way. So, yeah. But, yeah, it is something where it's not the... Yeah. If we go back to, like, when I had really bad facial hair, I think, like, here... Yeah, this was terrible. Like, what was I even thinking? Yeah, let's not look at that. Let's close that down. There was one video where you did some paste on moustache and looked like the child of Aaron Ra. Don't do that again. I will do that again. Maybe not that particular style, but I will do like... I will do like in the Matt Walsh video, there is like a drag king vibe that I'm going to go for. I'm actually going to like see if I can get a friend to do like my makeup for that. So yeah, you couldn't know if facial hair worked until you tried it. Absolutely. It is something which was something where it didn't work, and it was something where it's like, it's like, I think it was very much, I want it to grow here, but it didn't grow there. And that was very annoying. But even if it did grow there, would I have been happy with it? I don't know. It is something where I think I was trying to go for a look that I thought I would be happy with, but not necessarily knew that I'd be happy with. It's like a kind of idealized version of you that is like a... Well, no, it's more like connecting to the this area here that I wanted, but like this area here just decided, we're going to be the only thing that grows. Rin Karaku, I tried growing a beard when I was still in denial about being trans. It gave me massive dysphoria. Yeah, it is something where I think a lot of trans people try to go with, okay, well, if I try, I will be happy if I try this. This is what I need to do to conform to the gender that I was assigned at birth and be happy. And it doesn't always work out. It's like, I've talked to someone recently who said that what it was with her is she felt like she looked really good. She felt like she knew that to other people she looked really good. You know, really attractive because she had worked out and stuff. But she didn't feel right. You know, it didn't feel right for her. And it's like, yeah, that's a lot of what people try to do, is they try to figure out something that works with what society expects of them, and then ultimately it doesn't work because that's not them. And I think that's what I tried to do. I tried to go, okay, well, let's do something that society expects of me, and it didn't work because that's not who I was. And even when I had kind of figured out that it wasn't who I was, I still tried it, but not to the extent that I had done so before. And it's like, it still wasn't quite working, and I was like, oh yeah, well, I just need to look a bit older. But now it's like, okay, I don't need to do any of that. I don't have to worry about any of that. I just need to be who I am now, and I should be fine. And I'm feeling a lot more happy and contented for that. I don't want to go back. You know, people are like saying that I'll regret it in 5-10 years, but like, what is there to regret? You know, I like how I look. I like the fact that my body looks a lot better than it used to, and I like that I'm able to sort of just wear different clothes as well and look good in them. Like, I will sometimes wear some of my old mask clothes. There was a video that I put out recently where I was wearing a Star Labs sweatshirt, and I feel like I look a lot better in that now than I used to. It's like there's a very much a big difference between how I used to view myself and how I now view myself, even in the same clothes. It's like, sure, I don't have the ass that I want, but like, that's a small thing that maybe I can work on. I don't know if I will. I have trouble motivating myself to go to the gym, and apparently that's something that I need to do to get the ass that I want. But that being said, I like that I fit better in clothes, and trying on some old clothes that I used to wear, and it's like, okay, this is just a clothing that I wear to kind of be clothed, and actually feeling euphoria for it. It's great. Knowing that I look good in something when I couldn't see it before, that is something that I don't think I'm ever going to regret. Before it cracked, we were trying really hard to overcompensate, so we kept a weird, terrible moustache that no one liked. Yeah, I feel like this may be a hot take, but I feel like there are a lot of people out there that are doing this thing where they're trying to overcompensate with a weird, terrible moustache that no one likes. At least I don't like it. Like, has anyone seen like the? I think it's like the iDubbbz moustache, or like there's like a particular kind of moustache that a lot of guys have. I don't get it. It is like a very stereotypical moustache for like somebody that's around the age of 20 to 25 to have. I don't get why people have that moustache. Why? It doesn't look good. Maybe it's me getting old, but if you're gonna have a moustache, like, do something interesting with it. Don't just try to do like the scraggly moustache that it's like. I've seen a few people with this moustache. I'm gonna the 70s porn, exactly. I think that's the one. I have seen a video that where a guy has it. It's the worst video on earth. And it's like, why? Maybe the guy is secretly secretly an egg, but hasn't figured it out. I can't think of like any explanation for it other than not being comfortable, because like that would be the thing that I would have done. Obviously, I don't think like I don't think that they're all legs, but like it is something which it's like, why would you do that? Who is into that? Why is there this phenomenon? Are they putting something in the water? Is that what's going on? I need to go to replies, I think, to find the thing. Because, like, it is something which was a small while back. And... there is... Oh, I think there we go. Let's copy this link and show you what I mean. Actually, this isn't quite the moustache that I've been seeing. It's actually a bit better, but still looks a bit weird. This moustache. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why? And like, I don't. Who wants to be cursed with the knowledge of how this goes? Who wants to be cursed with it? Because I am ready to curse you with the knowledge that this person exists and has tried to make jokes that are just terrible, and he should feel bad for making them, and should maybe have run this by a trans person first. So I'll read out some comment stuff whilst I wait for people to respond to that. Oh, and we've also got like we've got ads coming up, so I'll let the ads play, and then we'll see if I am cursing you with the knowledge of this thing. So what have we got? Everyone should have a moustache like... No one should have a moustache, actually. Like... Okay, I will admit, there are some good moustaches out there. There are some people that have really powerful moustaches, and they're allowed to keep their moustache. But, like, everyone else should be a twink. Twinkify yourself. That's something that... I just want to comment. Fluoride makes young men grow moustaches that scream, "I drive a white van and offer candy to kids." Yeah, why do they do that? There are people with cartoonishly perfect moustaches. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes there are great moustaches that like people have, and it's like, okay, you get to, like, if you've got like a Captain Hook style moustache where it's... That's fine. Keep that. That is a very powerful moustache. Like, I think that some moustaches just work as well. Like, there's one that I did, and it's like, I actually kind of liked that moustache. When I say did, it's like makeup. So I think that people should, like... If they've got a moustache that works, absolutely do it, but, like, yeah. Anyway, we have not had anybody tell me whether they want to be cursed with this or not. Do you want to be cursed with it? Let me know, yes or no, in chat. Nikki, I fully agree with you. Twinks are hot. Yeah, like, I like two genres of guys. Twinks, but they have to be very twinky. And femboys. There is also a third genre of guy that is like a twink with muscles. That can be hot. But like it can't be like muscular, because that's not a twink anymore by definition. It's like a twink with muscles is hot. So Lilycat says, I would not like to be cursed. Basically, we say we have 3 shores, 3 yeses. Okay, actually, yeah, so let's do this. You are about to hear the worst joke made about trans people by a cis person that really should have vetted his jokes first. And so yeah, he tries to say that he's trans positive, but like this is not something. This is not something that is trans positive, at least. So yeah, well, I let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. I'll put it to like half volume. I will see. Oh, 1 second. I need to change my audio output. There we go. Wait, no, the wrong one. There we go. Let's see if that works. Ow.
Trans women, because I'm...
Okay, let's turn that down a little bit more because I don't want it to be too loud. I don't want to blast anyone's eardrums out. Anyway.
I date trans women because I'm from the future, okay? Yeah, I like my women like I like my undershirts, tucked. And, dating trans women, it's helped me evolve. It's helped me learn. I was with this gal and
So, like, firstly, I feel like... I don't know, there's something that I already don't like about the voice. There's something very corny about it, I don't know. But like that I don't know if he can change that. It just feels like something that's being put on like for an anime, if that makes sense. Anyway, I do have to add my own commentary if you anyway, that's not the bad part.
she was using different terms for things that I had never really heard of or thought of before. We're back at my apartment and we're making love, you know, from behind, doggy love, and she goes, yeah, fuck my pussy. And I was like, oh, that's fun. She calls her ass a pussy. Okay.
Yeah, so here's the issue with that joke. It's firstly never heard any trans person, like I've never heard any trans person say that. Never. I wouldn't say that myself. I wouldn't hook up with this guy in the first place. But it like portrays trans people as this, like sure, okay, I can admit we are weird, but like we're not that weird. We're not like, you know, like trans people are often actually like fairly normal in bed. Fairly normal in bed. I had the beard thing still stuck in my head, but like, yeah, fairly normal in bed. Trust me, I know. As if he's ever had sex. True. Anyway.
Alright, okay, I'm fucking your pussy, you know? And then she was like, yeah, suck my girl dick. And I was like, that's a bit of an oxymoron, but...
Now, that is not someone who... Like, girl dick is a quite common term when it comes to... when it comes to trans people. Or trans girls, should I say. But girl dick is quite a common term that we all use. Because, you know, it's more accurate. Now, some people may not understand it. It's like estrogen changes things. Estrogen just changes things. And it's not an oxymoron because it's like, yeah, I am a girl with a dick. You know? Girls can have dicks sometimes. Even if you're transphobic and don't believe, you know, you don't believe that I'm a girl, you know, well, even if you're transphobic and believe that trans women aren't women and that trans men aren't men, there are still dicks on people that you would consider to be women. That is just a fact, because trans men, you know, they do get dicks. it is a procedure that you can go through. So there's like even if you're the most transphobic person, there is still a reason to use the term girl dick. Though, you know, for me, I can use it to describe my own. With the first part, I've seen people say that, but I also don't see it as a big deal, as if bussy isn't a... Yeah, that is a fair point. Bussy is a common word. I have seen a lot of controversy around the term bussy. Like, a lot of people hate it. Trans men are some of the hottest men I've ever seen, not gonna lie. Yeah. There are times when it's like, where it's like, there's a hot guy, and it's like, why is that guy so hot? And then, you know, it's like, but they do often have a look to them. It's like a, when I say a look, it's very much a kind of, in the hair, I don't know why the hair is very much similar. And not in everyone who is a trans guy. But, like, there are some trans guys that I've seen that are, you know, very hot because I think it's because they don't try to be like this guy. They don't try to grow that awful moustache. You know, they just have, like, cute hair and stuff. And it's like, why is your hair doing something that my hair could never? You know? And it's like, and then there are like cis guys that do look like that as well. So it's like, I don't like to assume, but they should definitely invent more clockable trans people, because it is always nice to go, I know you're trans. But like, you don't always get that. But yeah, anyway, let's continue. But cis guys that look good have an army of women helping them deal with... Yeah, that is probably a good point. You know, if a cis guy looks good, they've probably got a girlfriend, right? It's just called owning a blowhigh. I mean, I own a blowhigh, but I don't take it out. Like, maybe I need to get a blowhigh pin that I can just put... I actually do, on one of my jackets, I do have a pin. I've kind of just kept it there because I don't want to, like, keep on removing it and keep on putting it in. But I've got a really cute pin that that you can sometimes see in videos. If I just grab my jacket. Yeah, blowhigh pin would be nice. You don't know that you can send me things, right? If you want to. No pressure. It's just that I actually received an email quite recently saying about how they didn't know if I had a P.O. box or not. And I do, but like, it barely gets any use anymore, so I don't know if I'm going to close it down because it costs money to keep it open. But yeah, I've got this like really cute pin here, and I really like this pin. It is really cute, and so yeah, I should put my let me, like, I don't remember my PO box off the top of my head, but like, let me put the PO box in the description. If anyone wants to send me anything, feel free to. I don't know if I'll keep it or not. If there's, like, there are some things where it's like, I'll be happy to accept, like plushies. I may not put the plushies up here because we've got Baffy, the sheep, kitty. Actually, let's turn the kitty inside out. There we go. Well, happy kitty. And blowhigh, and then the chocobo. That's like kind of fills it up. Let me just go to I have it in a video somewhere. So let me search for that. Oh, Alice posted a video like 2 hours ago. YouTube Studio. Why have I lost like 20 subscribers since the stream started? Why are people subscribing from a lot? unsubscribing from a live stream. I feel like any time I put like something trans related in a thumbnail, like people just are like, nope, can't handle the transgenderism. I'm out. Why? Where is the thing? Oh, that's right, content. Let's go to that, and it's a video from last year, I think. Which one was the unboxing video? Or the unbagging video? Oh yes, it was this one, because I had this one where I gained the bluff out Baffy. Did I put it in the description? Did I? No, I didn't, because... Damn it. Okay. Let me try to find... I know that I sent a message to someone about it, so let me... POBox jump, and I will put this in. I'll put this in the description, so that should be updated. If you ever want to send me anything, I might let me go here and go POBox, and if I do, if I receive something, I will probably open it on a reading comments video. That's where I kind of relegate it to, because it kind of fits the vibe, I think. There we go. In the early 90s, we had gay guys taking on breasts, but had nothing more at the time. Trans was someone who had undergone a full operation set. Yeah, it is something where over time the definition of trans has changed. That's why we've got transgender, because transgender is... Because it's like one of those things where you could define someone being trans as having, you know, taken operations and that, but like, you're not going to... Like, what has fundamentally changed? It's just like the genitals that you have. And to most people, that doesn't matter. You know, like, if I'm going to be friends with you, I don't care what you have down there. That doesn't... Like, the only time that matters is if you want to sleep with them. You know? And it's like... What, you can't be friends with a trans person without wanting to sleep? Is that, like, the contention? So I have tried Vegemite. I don't like it. Lily. We have Marmite and Vegemite. I like Marmite, don't like Vegemite. Vegemite is I don't like. But okay, but Nikki, if you want to sleep with everyone, then like if you want to sleep with literally everyone, it probably also doesn't matter, you know. But yeah, it is something that I find what you have down there doesn't matter. What I have down there doesn't matter. Like, we're gonna, like, here we go. I am back, I think. That was a few. So if you experienced buffering, then, you know, that was because OBS decided to die. Anyway, what, don't like Vegemite? What? I'm one that likes Marmite. Marmite is far superior. Vegemite just has this taste that I don't like. Anyway, I'm going to curse you with the rest of this. So...
Who am I? You know? And then she said one that came really out of left field. She goes, yeah, lick my clit. And I was like, well, now I'm fucking confused, lady. And then I was like, oh my God, trans women are women, because I can't find the clit on them either.
So, that last one, admittedly, was a little bit funny, right? But it still rubs me the wrong way. Are you going to read his tweets? Didn't he, like, go on, like, a tirade afterwards? I haven't seen all his tweets. Oh, jeez, there's a lot of reposting. But, like... Oh, he's a landlord. As a landlord, I will say the housing market definitely creates homelessness, and any excuse of drug addiction, mental illness, or repeated patterns of antisocial criminality is just that. An excuse for the only real cause of homelessness, the housing market. Well, abolish the housing market then. Yeah, let's abolish the housing market. Let's abolish landlords. I know that's very radical, but like, in divided times, I'm honoured to be a lightning rod of balance for both sides of one issue. Hatred of me, a fellow that likes silly jokes, loving who I love and being who I am. Hate watch or watch it with an open mind, but I hope my special doesn't. Hope my special makes you smile one way or another. It's something where I feel like that it does reinforce this idea that, trans women aren't really women. And that's the issue. It is this idea that perpetuates negative ideas that people already have. And that's the issue that a lot of trans people like myself were having with it. You can make funny jokes about trans people. I've seen, I think it's Dead Domain has some good funny jokes about trans people. The issue is that you need to, if you're going to make a joke about trans people, maybe run it by a trans person first. If I have an idea for a joke, I run it by a trans person first. Like, here's a joke that I have. And I am trans, so, it is something which I can actually run by me. But, I've had ideas for, here's one. You need to be, you need to be brave to be a trans person, right? It's kind of hard to do. If you're a trans person and you're not brave, you're going to get kicked down. And you can ask any trans person about this. You can ask them, hey, when's the last time that you were shaking in your boots? And why were you shaking in your boots? And they'll say, well, actually, the last time I was shaking my boots was because I forgot to eat. It's kind of hard to give time for the punchline in a online setting, but that is a joke that I have come up with, and the person that I told that to immediately felt attacked because it's very true. It is a very true joke though. It is mostly because she hadn't eaten. In case you're wondering, the joke there is that when you haven't eaten for a while, you start shaking. And I know that when you, I know that when you're shaking in, I know that when you explain the joke, it's probably makes it less funny. But in case people didn't get it, I do need to explain. Trans women forget to eat all... Yeah, we do. I have had times where I've been, shaking because I haven't eaten. Now, to be fair, the last time this happened was because I had thrown up. I'd thrown up, and I was, shaking because I had no energy. Kerberos, I want to be treated normal. Look at me, look at how special I am. No, we don't want to be treated with special attention. I don't want to be... I don't want to be look at me, I need attention or anything. I just want to be, I like how I was treated as a cis person because it was, just a normal way of being treated. I would like to be treated like that. Now, of course, I do like some of the attention that I've gotten as a trans person, admittedly. But that's usually your dress looks really good, your outfit looks really good. I don't think I would be able to pull off the same kind of outfits as a cis person. So there is that. But, like, that's still, like, a being treated normally, I find. Yeah, I want to be treated like any other woman. Though there are some negative things. I have been at a bar one time where this guy was being really creepy, and then he found out that I was trans and became even creepier, if you can imagine that. Trans girls are just like cis girls, but with more head pats. That is true. Though sometimes I was talking with someone, and sometimes it can be ironic, but like head pats are nice. As long as they're like affectionate ones and not just like... And it's very hard to do head pats to myself when I have headphones on. A choice for you, raise a ruckus so that the rest of us can... Yeah, it is something where when we are complaining, usually it's because there is a problem. Not because that... It's not because we want attention. You know, no, it doesn't have to be about us all the time. And that's okay. You know, I don't want it to be about us all the time, because when it is always about us, it actually gets really depressing. I'd rather when things be about us where it's something positive. And something that, you know, we're just existing as people, you know. I don't want to be treated differently, and that is something that a lot of people get into their heads. It's like, oh, trans people want special attention, or trans people want to be treated differently to the rest of to everyone else. And it's like, no, I just want to be treated with respect. If you want to give me attention, that's fine. Just please make sure it's respectful attention. I do, and for me, I particularly like attention, because I do this. You know, I get on live streams and talk about stuff. That would be if I was just doing this because. If I was just doing this without an audience, I'd probably stop doing it eventually, right? I don't think that's a result of me being trans, but more of a result of me doing the YouTubes. And, you know, some people do want attention, and that's fine. You know, some people don't get enough attention. And it's fine to want more attention. Whether it be from parents, because parents do need to pay attention, but, like, parents do have to have their own life as well. But then also from whatever, you know. So it's fine. If you want attention, go get that attention and have fun with it. What else? Oh, that's right. Moon shenanigans. Okay, so there was an eclipse. Now, I missed the eclipse mostly because, well, I'm not in the US. I think that's a good reason to miss an eclipse. Especially not Ohio. Apparently that's where the main part of the eclipse was. Forcing many people to go to Ohio. And I don't know how many people made it out. We'll see. We'll see how many missing people reports are filed over the next month. But yeah. No mooning on stream. Don't worry. Like, if I need to moon on stream, I'd do it on an OnlyFans, and I don't have an OnlyFans yet. Though the trans girl to OnlyFans pipeline is very real. Anyway, there were people that were talking about it. Now, if I go to the thing, there were some really weird things, and I didn't get to cover it all. So now I'm covering it, because if I wait any longer to cover it, it's going to be like off everyone's mind, and people are going to be like, there was an eclipse. Oh, you were talking about a year ago. Okay. But there will be another eclipse sometime in the future. We'll see. Anyway, this person decided to say some things about the eclipse when it was upcoming. And it's like, just listen.
People are talking about the eclipse, but they're not talking about this. The sun and the moon are not aligned on April 8th. They are in Pisces. Right now, if you go to your Skyview app and you push forward to April 8th, plug it in, it will show you that the sun and the moon are in Pisces. They are not aligned. They are sitting beside each other, but they are not aligned.
So I looked... Oh, too quiet? Okay, let me turn it up a little bit. So basically, yeah, the argument there is that the sun and the moon are in Pisces, that they can be wherever they want to be, and they're not aligned. Well, it depends when in the day that you like choose. Because I went to one of the things. I think it was something like Stellarium. I think it was. Anyway, I went to one of the websites, and lo and behold, yeah, they weren't aligned because I didn't choose the right time of day. It's like a very specific time of day where they actually do align, and then then it works. You need to like actually do things correctly. If you don't do things correctly, you're going to get weird results. Anyway, she continues.
How is that possible? Because the sun and the moon have been out of place since back in September 2023. I've been doing these videos telling you that the sun is not where it should be. People are telling me it's the calendar. The calendar's off. Don't worry about it. It's where the sun is in the sky that's different. It's not where it should be. This eclipse is showing you that I am telling you the truth. Because if we see an eclipse on April 8th, how is that possible? If the sun and the moon are in Pisces, it can't be an Aries eclipse, right? If the sun is in Pisces.
So, the problem is that the calendar is off. The stars have... This is something that has been changing over the last 2,000 years. So, when it comes to the sun, yeah, it'll be in Pisces during Aries. That is something that... Wait, why do it... Rahu... What's this Rahu and Ketu stuff? Is this something that you've made up to explain eclipses? But yeah, the idea is supposed to be that things are off, and so therefore there's something weird going on, and it's like... this is something that has been well documented. Right? This is something that has been well documented. People have known that the constellations have drifted, hence why they're in different places now than they were, despite the seasons being the same. So yeah, it's not something out there that's weird. And it certainly doesn't prevent an eclipse from happening, oh yeah, they're in Pisces. The sun and the moon, they're still passing through each other, but they're in Pisces, not in Aries. So yeah, we can't have an eclipse. It's Neighbor ate the sun, and Aussie Jesus dug another sun to the Grand Canyon. Hell yeah. I like that one. According to the ancient Indian mythology, eclipses are caused by shadowy demons Rahu and Ketu, who were once part of a divine serpent. Yeah. But that is something that was a legend. And then Flat Earth Head said, no, Rahu and Ketu are the dark bodies up there like Lilith discovered thousands of years ago in Vedic astronomy. Well, find them again, because they do seem to be very elusive. Try to find the thing that goes in front of the moon that somehow turns it red as well, which means that you can still see the moon through it. So Yeah, try to find that thing, and then maybe you'll have something to say. But like at the moment, you've got no evidence, right? Like, where can we find? What evidence is there outside of the eclipse? And what evidence is there outside of eclipses that Rahu or Ketu are causing eclipses? What evidence is there outside of the eclipse? Because this is being used to explain eclipses, not to and so you're going, oh, this explains an eclipse. Well, you know. Anyway, let me. I need to stretch sometimes. Anyway, more moon stuff because the flat earthers talked about this.
So I guess it's clouds.
There it is.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's it right there. And I'm trying to be still, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what.
It's got cracks in it.
What?
It's looking down.
It looks angry.
Yeah, looks angry. It's looking down at us right now. Let me zoom out. Yeah, he's looking.
I can't remember if this was the eclipse.
It's full moon.
Oh yeah, this was like a full moon. I can't remember what this was about. I just remembered that I had it in my bookmarks or something. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But yeah, anyway. This is another thing that clouds in the moonlight. Oh. Yeah. Because like light bounces off clouds and reflects. That's how you see clouds in the moonlight. Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking. It's like overexposed. There was one thing that I do remember seeing where they were also overexposed, and they were like, how is it that the moon's still meant to be covered? How did the moon disappear so quickly, or something like that? And it's like, well, because you've got things overexposed. I can't remember what this is, but like, well, let's see what it is about.
Okay, here's what you need to know about the total solar
That's a bit loud.
eclipse. Now, a lot of people know that the total solar eclipse will be traveling on a path from frickin' southish to northish over the United States of America. And many people believe that this eclipse pathway is actually opening up a portal for humans to receive downloads of information and connect deeper with the universe. Now, what's crazy is if you take one letter from every city that the eclipse is traveling over, you can rearrange it to get a message directly from the universe.
Okay, I think this is a joke. I think that is a joke. Okay, yeah. I can't remember all the things that I see on here, so it's like, oh, I'll save this for later, and then I forget about it, and it's like, okay. But like things were like people were kind of like saying a lot of funny things that were serious. Like I remember people saying that because there was the Devil's Comet or something. Because there's the Devil's Comet that went by Earth at around the same time, therefore the apocalypse. It's like, what? Like we're still, and like the problem is that did lead to some people doing horrific stuff, right? And it's one of those things where that's one of the problems I have with conspiracy theorists. They will believe in conspiracy theories, and then it will just result in people doing like awful stuff or doing stuff to other people that will be harmful for them, even if maybe they believe in the conspiracy theory. I mean, there was that whole Heaven's Gate thing where a lot of people died because they all believed in a cult. And like, sure, cults and conspiracy theories are two different beasts, but I do think that there is a lot of the same kind of mentality that goes into both of them. I mean, cults, you kind of need to believe in a conspiracy theory to get into a cult, right? The whole idea of like a lot of cults is like some kind of conspiratorial thing, and you need to get away from whatever it is to be free or whatever. Ancient mythological nonsense is not worth looking up. Sorry for that head. I find that it can be fun to look into stuff that is ancient, but like, if it's like a myth or legend, don't take it seriously, right? If someone decides to say, oh, look into Zeus or something, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to take that seriously. But it can be fun to look into and be like, oh, so this is what they wrote about Zeus, or oh, this is what they wrote about Odin or Loki. And it is something which is definitely really fun. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be apocalyptic. Alex Jones gets his fan to buy overpriced supplements by convincing them of... Yeah. Basically, I find that a lot of the idea of conspiracy theory is to get attention, right? It's a way to get attention, and you can get quite a bit of attention by saying, oh, the world's going to end, or, this thing I say is true, and they don't want you to know that. It's like, oh, they don't want you to know that they don't want you to know that buying my merch is the path to everlasting life. So buy my merch. It is something which is always very much it's something which is always very much a way to sell something, and because, the bills don't pay themselves, right? You got to find some way, and some people do it by being a liar, essentially. Looking up history and learning how we advance more and more and learn more about the world is quite nice. I think that it is interesting. Like, one of the things I like about the Romans is they actually had this thing for grain, I think it was, like a grain ration, and that's something that I think we can learn from. We can learn from things like, oh, they had rations, and a lot of people look to them as like the greatest empire, and it's like, maybe they had something to do with it. I don't know. I would like free bread. Like, give me free bread. we have the ability to do that. It's not like since then we've devolved in terms of technology. We're able to feed more people now than we ever have been able to in our lives. And we can, we have a lot of land as well. We have more than enough land to feed everyone. It's just that some land is, as mentioned earlier, is not very well used. Free bread and circus games. I remember something about circus. Love Romans, look up Ptolemy. Maybe, eventually. I like some ideas that I've heard, but there's like a lot of different things from around that time that I'm not a big fan of. Like, there was a thing from a philosopher who was basically like, oh yeah, let's tell everyone that we're infused with iron or bronze, silver, and gold, or something like that. And something, I can't remember the exact thing, but it was basically a way to instill an idea of hierarchy in people's minds, and say that it was ordained by God or something. It's worse than that. In the US alone, we've thrown away enough food to feed everyone on Earth. I'm not too sure about that, but also, I do know that there is a lot of food that is thrown away that could definitely be used to feed people that need it. I only need 3 things: cake, garlic bread, and Denmark. Mark Agamotto 1313 Smith. Are you Ace? By any chance? Because like that garlic bread is very much an Ace thing. Wait, am I allowed to say that? I'm not even Ace. Some people will say, "Oh, well, you have a demi component to you," and it's like, but I still find people attractive without, you know. Arrow Ace? Okay, yes. Yeah, I don't consider myself Ace, but I am slightly demi. You don't know about Denmark? Are we talking about trains? Because like, wait, is Denmark trains? I think Denmark's trains. Wait, no. I think no. There's the Netherlands that's trains. Denmark may have trains as well. But like, I do like trains. I think we do need more robust public transport, and I will keep advocating for that because I do like garlic bread as well, but I'm like probably the only vampire who does. It's like I'm just built differently. Might be the estrogen. Even before estrogen, though, I like garlic bread. But like, maybe I don't. Did estrogen turn me into a vampire? I don't know. But I do like garlic bread. It is very nice. In fact, I add garlic to literally everything. I'm like the maybe that's why I add garlic to everything, and therefore, being a vampire, I'm able to consume garlic because it's just in my diet. Denmark is an Arrow Ace target. I had no idea. Trains are so awesome. I'm so happy to live in a place that has lots of public transport and trains. Yeah, I wish we had more trains in New Zealand, but we have a government that just doesn't want to invest in trains and is actually more about cars. It's like, no. The problem with investing in cars, of course, is that if you invest in infrastructure for cars, it makes people more car dependent, which in turn means that you need more infrastructure for cars, which in turn makes people more car dependent, which in turn you need more infrastructure for cars. There's also the issue of we can't all have electric vehicles without some kind of significant grid overhaul. We would need to severely upgrade the basically the capacity of the grid to allow for electric vehicles to be charged and all that, because the grid can't handle everyone suddenly switching to electric vehicles, and that would be a huge problem if we suddenly did. So the better option is to go with public transport, which uses a lot less energy because, you know, it's designed to carry a lot more people than a car. A car is designed to carry like 4 or 5 people, and is usually only used by one person, which means that you've got a whole lot of energy that's being used that is not being used in the most optimal way. Yes, because 10,000 people and 10,000 cars on a 5-lane highway queuing to get to the multi-story car park is great. Yeah, like you like, people complain about like car parks and all that, and it's like, okay, let's get rid of the car parks. It'd be even better. But people are like, but I want to use my car. It's like, yeah, but if we get rid of all the car parks, then you can walk there. Like, I'm a big proponent of mixed-use neighborhoods, because I think that mixed-use neighborhoods are a really good way to kind of just have a lot of people in an area and have like just stuff around. The neighborhood I live in, it's not like fully mixed use, but it does have some nice stuff. There are some stuff where it's like, oh, I can go down to the supermarket, is fairly nearby, and there's like a few nice shops there. There's like some nice shops just littered around, and I like that kind of stuff. And I've lived in other areas, being like across the road from a fish and chip shop is like very nice, though very tempting. But yeah, I prefer things to be more mixed use because it's far more convenient. Yeah, motorcycles are a lot better options than cars. Unfortunately, I do find that motorcycles tend to be a lot louder than cars. But I think that's because people want loud motorcycles. And that's the problem. It's like I've heard people starting up a motorcycle and it's like, why is it so loud? Does it have to be that loud? I feel like we can get it quieter. Walkable cities, mixed neighborhood makes for livable cities. Yeah, it's something where cities need to be designed for people. And I've seen like people on Twitter lately say that there's this person that I follow on Twitter called Aaron Hawkins, and I can probably find a few things from him. But like people were responding to one of the tweets that he made, where he said about cities are for people, not for... Yeah, streets are for people, or something. Wait, on Aaron Hawkins. There we go. Following. Let me go to... Here we go. Streets are for people. Let me copy that tweet, and I'll go to here, and then show you what I mean. So, yeah, streets are for people. And then, so one person says, can you report back in a few months whether shop sales increased or decreased? And I think they'd increase, because making a place that is more livable, that people want to spend time in, it's a good idea. The reason why malls are so popular is because they are a place where you can just spend time in. You don't have to... You don't have to worry about, oh, let's go to the next shop. There are places there to spend time in. And so having something like this, where, you know, the road is like, that is the road right there, where I'm putting my mouse. It's a single lane road, and it feels a lot more built for people. It's a place that you can spend time in. And sure, there will be a lot of people that will just walk through it because they want to get to wherever they need to go, but it is something where, like, making spaces where people can just chill is really good. One person said, yeah, sidewalks are for people, streets are for cars. And it's like, no, I don't like that. I like the idea of streets being for people. We used to have streets for people. Sure, there could be cars going through, but the cars would have to go really slowly, and the people could just walk around the car, you know. It was something where you weren't in any immediate danger, or like if you ran out onto the road, you weren't in any immediate danger. There's also another person said, no, they are for cars, numbnuts, and it's like... And it's like something where I think a lot of people are so car-brained where they think that it's a good thing that we try to make cars the centerpiece of our society, when it's like, cars aren't people. There are people in cars, but cars themselves aren't people. They have special mufflers that make them even louder than normal. Glass packs and cherry bombs. Yeah, I don't like that idea. I like my peace and quiet. And by having cities designed around people and not cars, you make it a lot more quieter, because cars are very loud. I've seen a video from Not Just Bikes, excellent channel by the way, and it's something where he talks about how cars are loud, and that's why cities are loud. Like, think about it. What is the cause of... Like, sure, there are construction noises sometimes, but that's not everywhere in the city. Like, if you go into New York City, like, there's probably going to be more chatter than anything. I'm not comfortable in a car anymore. I drove a big truck, and for 15 years, and now I'm only on 2 wheels. Yeah, I've never liked the idea of driving a car. That's probably... I do find that it is a bit of a trans stereotype to not drive. Even though I do know a few trans people that do drive. But, like, I do like the idea of having more transport options that don't involve me needing to get behind the wheel, you know. And cars, and like you could say, oh well, Uber, but Uber's, you have to pay more money than if you were to own a car. It feels like. Quality of life improved in basically every town where they gave more room for people, like turning some streets into pedestrian zones in city centres. Absolutely. You want to design a city that's better for people. If you design a city that's that's for cars, then it's something where it just makes it so that it's harder to find places to hang out with anyone. And besides, if you have more dense areas, you want to hang out with someone? Cool. Walk down the road. You meet more people in more densely packed areas, I find. And it's something which we do have a bit of a crisis where people are feeling a lot more lonely these days. I have seen people feeling a bit more lonely. And part of that is because it's so hard to... There's not enough third spaces around. I would like to have more third spaces where you can just kind of go and hang out. But like if you've got a lot of cars, you got to cross the street if you want to get there. So you have to take a car, which means that things get more spread out because you need car parks and all that. And I feel like it's one of those things where cars aren't convenient unless everything is designed for cars. Cars are only convenient when everything is designed for cars. And at that point, it's like saying that crutches are convenient or something. It's like, crutches are very inconvenient. But if you've had your legs chopped off, then they become very convenient. Right? It's one of those things where if you build things for cars, yeah, sure, cars will be more convenient. But if you build things for people, then cars actually become a nuisance. Would you want to make a video on urban design? I kind of do. I kind of do want to hit... It's one of those things where it's kind of hard to fit it in. But, you know... Yeah. Valentine O'Malley... Did I miss the good news? I kind of did, but like I've been trying to be a bit more positive on today's stream, but I can repeat it. It's that I'm getting a thing. Basically, my taxes. I had more money after my taxes, and so I'm going to try and I'm basically getting an IPL device, which might arrive anytime. I can actually see like what the thing is. Let me just check. Reload the tracking stuff. It says your parcel is currently in transit. Okay. So it could arrive today. It could arrive tomorrow. But yeah, IPL device, getting filling and getting a tooth. I keep on saying a teeth. It's a tooth. I'm getting a tooth removed. And it's not the... Okay, here's a funny story. It's not the right... IPL. Laser. Zzz. Basically, for getting rid of... Yeah, hair removal. 1 teeth, 2 teeth, yes. But yeah. I'll be getting that, and I'll also be getting a tooth removed. And the funny thing is, it's on that side. Now, I don't know how... I would rather the wisdom tooth that is decaying to be on that side, because then I can actually get like a tooth that I want removed out, because then it'll be less annoying. I do have a bit of annoyance where it's like, oh, there's... The wisdom teeth are very annoying on that side, but not on this side. That side's been fine. I don't bite my cheek at all. This side, that bites my cheek. I don't like that. And then it's like sore for ages when you do bite your cheek a bit too much. Obviously on accident, because like, you know. But like, it's one of those things where I haven't had it for a while, but it was annoying a long time ago. Nikki, I don't know if you saw earlier, when they yank it, don't under any circumstances attempt to ingest anything with salt for a few days, and don't use a straw. I mean, a dry socket is not fun. Okay, I was planning on having soup. Is that like... Is soup okay? I'll probably add less salt to the soup. I was planning on like having soup over the next few days, but also like I was basically planning on having soft stuff, and which includes pasta. But I've got like some of these stuff over here. The like this tortellini, creamy mushroom and bacon. That's something that I've got. Hopefully it's enough food for like a meal. I find that one of the issues that I often get is that it'll say, oh, this meal is good for one person. And it's like I will make something that's meant to be for like 2 people and eat it all in one sitting. And it's like they're trying to starve us. You know, like it's like one of those things where no wonder trans femmes don't have enough to eat. Like the people think that the serving sizes should be like half. I'm not lactose intolerant. I have a friend who's lactose intolerant. I actually have a couple of friends who are lactose intolerant, but I'm not lactose intolerant myself. I like cheese. Yeah, I'll get ice cream. In fact, I do like my ice cream. But I do know that I have. I'm very sensitive on that side, in particular, which is the side that the wisdom tooth is getting removed on. Would starve if we followed the serving size. Yeah, absolutely. Why? Why are serving sizes so small? You know, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, this feeds 7 people, and it's like, I'll make it. It's like, I am not 7 people. This should theoretically last like a week, but like it doesn't. It lasts 2 days. But the straw is a big no. I don't use straw. Like, the only time I use straws is if I go to the movies, really. Or, like, order... actually, no, not even if I order something. It's like if I were to go to McDonald's or something, then I might get a straw. Even then, I usually would just get a chai latte because, you know... I don't know how they decided. Like, I maybe it's misogyny. It could just be misogyny, you know, like, oh, if you'll eat this much, and then you'll be like the ideal size for a man. Like that, like a surprising number of things do turn out to be stupid things that you wouldn't expect, but somehow, like a lot of a lot of American city design is just racism. You wouldn't expect that, but actually, yeah, it's something where it makes it seem like it, and like that's one of the things with a lot of these things. A lot of people will design something in such a way that is meant to be, which is meant to be ideal for them. You know, like the whole idea of you know, putting bridges around black neighborhoods to stop them from being able to reach the more wealthy areas, which basically keeps them trapped in an area, and like that targets basically the target of that is poor people, but like the idea is that it specifically harms a particular group, right? You don't have to... A lot of people feel like for you to be racist, you need to be very specific in who you're targeting, but like, no, there are things that you can do that target a group without explicitly targeting that group. They're small so that the numbers look good. They know full well people eat more than what's on the box. Yeah, like I'll like if I buy soup, like a can of soup, I will add a lot to that. Like I'll add onion. I actually have some minestrone. Should minestrone be good? I have like a can of minestrone, and I'm probably gonna cook that up. I've also got some pasta. I like. I actually got like. I'll grab the pasta. I also need to get some rice as well, but the rice is for something that I've already cooked, and I didn't quite have enough rice. I had enough rice for last night, but like not enough rice for like 2 nights. So like I've got this pasta here, and like this is one of the serving for one, but like I assume that I'm going to eat 2. There was only one time when I had 1. And I usually use the same flavor, but like that's why I've got like no, that's not right. There we go. Yeah. So I add 2 of them together. That's a meal. I also add frozen veggies in. Avoid anything crunchy for a week or you'll bleed. But you don't want to try and eat chips or anything covered in salt. It'll just feel like lighting a jaw on fire. Yeah, I'll basically try to take care of myself in the week after. It'll be something which will be like, okay, which food is soft? And, yeah. Hopefully things are fine. But, like, I look forward to being able to use that side of my mouth again. That side of my mouth is like, I haven't used it because there's a big hole in my tooth. And, yeah, pudding in soup. Oh, pudding. Yeah, I should... Oh, I haven't had pudding in ages. That actually sounds really nice. Maybe I should get that. I am trying to save a little bit. Oh, yes. Jello. We call it jelly here. Just so, I know that Americans call it Jello, but we call it jelly. Jelly is not a spread here. we have some weird things like chips. Are when we say chips, we are talking about both crisps and fries. That's what a chip is here in New Zealand, and you know what type of chip it is when you're talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, I got some fish and chips the other day, and it's like, oh cool. You know we're talking about fries. Fries are usually reserved for the very thin McDonald's fries that you get. It's like shoestring fries. But like if you say, oh, I'm going to buy some chips from the store, people will probably assume, depending on what the context is, like if it's like, oh, I'm going to buy some chips for this party, people will assume that you're buying a bag of chips, like a bag of crisps. But if you say, oh, I'm going to buy some chips for tea tonight, then people will know that, oh, you are buying fries. I know it's confusing to the British and the American mind, but we've got it figured out. And I really thought you had crisps with your fish. Disappointed that you don't. Yeah, when we say fish and chips, we're talking about like chips that are like, and that's why I always view. I find it weird to call chips fries. Because, like, sure, they're fried, but they're like, they like, the shoestring fries are what I call fries. That's the only thing that I would refer to as a fry. As fries. The thick chips that you get at fish and chip stores, you can actually, I think you can get shoestring fries there, but, like, usually you get like thick chips that are about like that thick. Oh yeah, French fries. Yeah. But yeah, the shoestring. Oh, I also have. I can't. I need to quickly get through like the. I have eggs and mushroom, but like that's a very salty thing, so I should probably get through that soon, like over the next few days before, because it's on Thursday that I get the stuff done. I figured that French fries are not French. Like French toast. In fact, like I'll probably have French toast and mushrooms, which is actually a really good thing. You fry up mushrooms, right? And the way that I fry them is I add add garlic. Yeah, add garlic to them. They turn out really nicely. And I also add a bit of salt to them because that's it makes them taste nice. And then I also cook some French toast. Now, the way that I make French toast is I use a number of eggs, just a number of eggs, and I also add obviously salt into the mix. I add hot sauce. You also want to add herbs, like just some mixed herbs or something. Goes really well, and some garlic is always nice. I love garlic, and I also decide to add like a bit of. I like to add like some lemon juice or vinegar to stuff to just kind of give it a bit of a nice kick to it. Like I made curry last night, which is the reason why I need more rice. And what I added to the curry was essentially this is my current curry recipe. Coconut cream. Not just coconut cream, I'm trying to remember. So coconut cream, an onion, a capsicum. By the way, I blend the onion and I blend the capsicum to basically turn it into a paste. Crushed garlic, crushed ginger. There's like a curry paste that I use. Also add some herbs. I add lemon juice and just like other bunch of spices and stuff too. You really can add too much garlic, but it takes effort. Yeah, I like my garlic. Avoid the lemon juice during your healing. Okay, I will do. I figured that like citrusy stuff. It would be like if I were to eat a mandarin. I don't often eat mandarins. I usually get mandarins when I'm not feeling too well. Like last 2 times I think I have felt off of 2 or 3 times. I've been like, hey, can you get me some mandarins to whoever's getting the thing? Like the first time I had COVID, I actually did like the online, like go into the store ordering. Got some ham, nice ham. Got some mandarins, very nice. And it was like enough to tide me over. I haven't been sick in a while. Maybe it's all the garlic that I'm eating. When I say I haven't been sick in a while, it's been like since last year. So that means that we're heading into flu season. I think I haven't been sick in a while. I think. I can't remember the last time I was sick, which usually means that it's probably last year. Avoid acidic substances. Imagine getting in a cut now. Yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, not gonna have anything citrusy. Which means no mandarins. I will have. I know that Jello isn't, or jelly. Damn Americans, you're making me speak in your language. I don't want to. I want to speak proper New Zealand English, not American English. But yeah, we'll have jelly. It's just like, what sort of jelly do I want? Probably raspberry, honestly. I'll see what options there are. There might be an orange jelly that I like. Jelly is nothing but... And it can't be sugar. It can't just be sugar and gelatin. There has to be something else to actually give it the flavor, right? Like jelly is gelatin and sugar, but come on, there has to be something else to give it the flavor that it has. Like, you can't expect me to believe that all flavors of jelly can be synthesized through just sugar and gelatin, right? Like, I know that everything is made from atoms, but like, the atoms are different. The way that you get emergent systems means that there are different things that need to be in different things. Artificial flavorings. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad we got that sorted. So yeah, I'll probably go with like some flavor, and I might get some ice cream as well. My favorite type of ice cream is actually jelly tip. I don't know if do you have that overseas? Like, I think here in New Zealand, like, the two favourites are usually jelly tip or goody goody gumdrops. I don't know, like, goody goody gumdrops sounds like something that would be in other countries as well, whereas jelly tip really sounds like a New Zealand thing. I don't know what yellow number 3 means. FDNC red number 5, like, I don't know what that is. It's weird how, like, different countries have different cultural things that food color. Like, let's be real. Paprika, at least when it comes to a lot of store-bought paprika, is just food coloring. I've, like, tried to put it in stuff, and it's like, this doesn't taste any different. I'll be leaving now. Had an exhausting weekend. Thanks, Planner. It was nice listening. Have a good day. Same to chat. Have a nice day. I don't know how long I'll stay. I'll probably stay for another half an hour. I've actually liked the stream. I felt like I've been a bit more focused, even though, like, my ADHD has meant that I haven't been able to completely focus on everything, and will often get sidetracked very easily. But I've enjoyed this. Though I probably do need to, like, have more water. You know, the whole thing is. But that's like every trans girl needs to have more water. If you have had too much water and you're a trans girl, what are you even doing? Right? I will drink some water immediately after the stream is done. It's just that I would have to somehow occupy you. I can't occupy you whilst streaming that, and I can't occupy you whilst getting water if I'm not in the room, right? Actually, speaking of occupying, do you want to hear, like, something that I've been working on? Like a music thing? I'll just play the guitar for it because it is something which... but yeah, there's some... It was a chord progression that I really liked. I do have some lyrics, but I don't have enough to be comfortable with playing with singing. And also, I can't figure... I still haven't added the whole reverb, which you need to add to your add to things to sound good. I need to I think it would be it would probably be a plugin that I can put in, VST plugin. My computer should be able to run that kind of thing. I'd assume so. Okay, so this is the track that I've been sort of that I came up with, or the tune that I came up with recently. Yeah, I used to have something like that on my old computer. I need to get that sorted with my... Oh, that's the estrogen alarm. Chord progression: the fourth, the fifth, the minor, fall, the major lift. I don't think that's quite it, but it is very much a song in minor, in a minor key. So I don't know. We'll see. You can probably tell from like at best you'll be able to tell from this. I don't know like how chords relate to each other. I just know that this sounds good. So yeah. And that's that's what I've got so far. I've got like some lyrics, and it's like people have said that it's vampire core. And funnily enough, when I was so the lyrics, I've only got like a sort of idea for the chorus, and I wrote the first part of the chorus taking inspiration from one of my other songs that I forgot half the lyrics to, and so I've completely forgotten what it was meant to be, apart from like a few lyrics. So I've taken inspiration from that, and that will be the song, and might integrate a few things. The idea is that I was thinking when I came up with the first chorus, I was kind of thinking something like I was kind of feeling like a idea about how you don't fit into an area. But like somehow everyone's just vibing, and it's like, is there something different? And so that the idea that I came up with was like everyone else is dead, but I'm alive. And so the thing that I eventually decided, well, I'm eventually going to be with these people being dead, and it's like, well, what if that kind of links into vampirism, right? The idea that, you're going to join these people. And so that kind of was the inspiration for the second chorus, or the second part of the chorus. I'm not sure how it's going to be structured, but we'll figure it out eventually. Sounds rather Spanish Mexican. Yeah, I can do things like that, I guess. And actually, like, some of the inspiration for it was a song that goes a bit like this, actually. On my saddle and I bet in my vest, bet and never settle, and I never could rest till the sunrise dies and sets in the west. Arouse snake bite and a bullet in my chest. I won't stop to drop the door, land in the sand, cause I'll be the pot to pieces by coyote in the Litten hand of a medicine man who is a whistle and a wapayote. Whoa, why, I'm taking action. I'm not going to sing too much of it because I know that like YouTube will pick it up and be like, you get no money. But you do get your super chats. I'm glad they don't take that away. It would suck if they did, honestly. It would be something where it would be like, yeah, the people wanting to give you money now have to give like part of it. And like, actually that's annoying when it comes to Apple Pay, right? Someone can buy a super chat or something, but like Apple decides, yeah, we get part of this. We just take some of this. It's not an extra fee added on, which I suppose is good for the consumer, but it's like, we're just taking some of this because it's our payment system, so we deserve some of it. And so it kind of cheats the creator out of a bit of money as well, because it's like, I've had people give like huge super chats, but like then I get like less than 50%. I get like less than 50% because Apple has decided that they want 30%. Google decides that they want 30%. I mean, fair enough, they're the platform that Google does the same thing for non-YouTube platforms. I think that's shitty. I really do. If you're like if I'm giving money to someone and I'm like that's why I use things like PayPal if I'm going to buy a super chat. Because they don't really take too much. At least I don't think they take too much. I don't know what the whole payment system is there. But like Patreon is like it takes a chunk out of... I think it takes like a chunk out of things. But like it's understandable with the platform that you're using. Like if I know that... I know that like with some platforms they'll take like 1% or 5% or something like that, and that's reasonable. With YouTube they take like 30%, which is starting to get up there. I know that even like with Steam, if you're buying a game on Steam, they'll take 30%. But that's because they need to maintain their systems, right? Imagine if Steam just gave 100. They'd be bankrupt if they gave 100% to creators. What's the least shitty way to give you money? Your two that you list aren't the best. Well, so I don't know what the least shittiest way is. I have the Buy Me a Coffee. I have the Patreon. There's obviously the YouTube Super Chat stuff. There is PayPal, but I'm kind of sometimes iffy about PayPal. But I also just don't put PayPal in the thing because it's like, you know, I feel like it's like, I don't know. Patreon and YouTube take a big chunk. Probably. I know that. I don't know what the chunk that Buy Me a Coffee takes. I think it's something in the range of 10%. I think, if I'm correct. But it also gets deposited right into my bank after a period of time, which is really nice. Though it is annoying for tax purposes. Having to be like, okay, so how much should I get from this? It's this plus this plus this plus this, and I need to list it out. Makes tax annoying, but then also I guess the government takes a big chunk as well. Though that depends on how much I earn as well. If I earn, usually it's around 10%, but like sometimes it might be a bit more. If I go up in tax brackets. Can be up to like 38%, but I earn nowhere near enough to. I wish I earned enough to get taxed at 38%. If I did, you'd probably see like some more interesting stuff. But yeah, I do. But I suppose like with other things, it's also like the system, like YouTube. Like the reason why YouTube takes a cut is because they've got the whole they've set up the infrastructure to keep that running, right? Without it is something where it is a little less direct, but I guess like the whole thing when it comes to healthcare from the government is less direct as well, and it's something that I do benefit from either way. So it's one of those things where I don't mind paying taxes. It would be nice to pay less taxes when I'm not earning as much money, but at least taxes do have benefits for me that I can tangibly see. Like when I went to the hospital, all I had to do was go in, and I paid nothing. I didn't even pay anything for the prescriptions that they gave me. Do you post music anywhere? You should set up a music sub-channel to post music-related stuff. Maybe I'm actually thinking of like doing a few things for members, where I essentially will post like just covers that I might do to like members, and so it's not something where it's meant to be seen by by everyone. But I will eventually do some songs which I kind of want to like. I've said for a while that I want to kind of record an album eventually. Have a few ideas for songs, and some of them will be in the kind of. Some of them will be kind of in the realm of conspiracy theories, so they will suit this channel. But like a lot of them will be just like, oh hey, here's a thought that I had, or hey, here's a funny thing that I wanted to make a song about. You know, like the whole vampire song. It's not a serious song, but like can be taken allegorically if you want to take it that way. But also it's like, oh, vampires, fun, kind of thing. I might even do a music video where I record it in like a cemetery. That'd be fun. Yeah, same. I'm not paying anything for my transition. I'm not on E yet. Though I'm not on E yet, it's all paid for by taxes. Yeah, I pay nothing for this. Though they do want to reintroduce a $5 prescription fee, which means that I'd be paying effectively $20 every 3 months, and that's annoying. I would not show anyone's headstones without permission. It would be disrespectful. Yeah. Well, what I'd do is I'd want to like go to an area where, which is because like a lot of cemeteries have like an area where it's like far away. So it's like the only headstones that you see are like ones that look generic, right? And I feel like that's a lot more respectful. Like not. I don't want to show like people's headstones with names. I think that's should be fine. Also, I did have to pay something for this, which is very nifty. As you can see, there's like some pills in there, but the pills are cut up into quarters. Yeah, pill cutter, and it's been very nifty because having to cut pills into quarters with a knife is extremely, how do I put it? It doesn't work out well. I am not good at cutting pills in half. And having to cut pills that I have barely even managed to cut in half again, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. I'm glad that I don't have to cut my estrogen in half. Yeah, exactly. Pieces tend to go flying. So I've got this pill cutter. It cuts them nicely in half. I'm surprised at how well it works, but I'm glad. And I paid like, I think, $10 for this. If that. May have even been like $9. But yeah. I also have like progesterone. Yeah, but like, is it like American dollars or New Zealand dollars? Because for me it was like something around 10 New Zealand dollars. Which is close, like probably close to like 6. Those foil packs are evil. Are you talking about like this? I managed to get like this one was very easy to pop out for some reason. This one here, the one that I had last night. But yeah, and then there's like my estrogen, which comes in. I need. Oh, actually, I can. Yeah, and then there's like my estrogen, which I've got like on this tray. I have a week left, and on another tray I have like 4 weeks. So I'll probably go into. I'll probably go into like my doctor to get that all sorted out soon, because like it is really something which I do like to make sure that I've got enough for. And I actually have some extra pills, extra estrogen pills, so I'll basically be able to like go up in dosage as soon as I can get confirmation from my doctor that I will be going up in dosage, because I don't want to go up in dosage and then go down in dosage. So but I do look forward to going up in dosage if I can go up in dosage, because I do want to go into I'm currently on 3 milligrams per day, which is a 2 milligram and a 1 milligram pill. But if I go up to 4 milligrams, it will be two 2 milligram pills, and I want to like increment by 1 milligram each day, which is kind of a programmer thing to do. And speaking of programming, so last stream I showed a plane. This is how it looks now. It is textured. So I have done 3D modeling and I've made this plane. Now I have had to create 2 different plane textures. I've had to create this one, which is for when you're close up, and this one for when you're a bit further away. Will it fly upside? No, it won't fly upside down on a spinning wet ball, and there's a good reason for that. So what I've been working on lately is, if I go to here, and you can see that I've been like doing shader stuff, which is actually, shaders may seem daunting, but they're actually very easy. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. I finally decided to do something. And I know that I have committed the sin of not having any comments, but you know. But yeah, this is how things look. There will be a logo on there, but like I'm currently testing things without the logo, and that's a plane flying across. It's literally just a game. I feel like sometimes I know what I'm talking about more than the people. Well, so this game may look 3D, but if I go continue, this is like the actual gameplay. Because the title screen is 3D, which means that it runs slower than like any other part of the game, which is kind of good for benchmarking. But yeah, this is the general idea of gameplay. And here we go. This is another part of the... Oh, that was... I was not prepared for that. It's very, very simple gameplay loop that I was able to come up with, but also like complicated to implement. Yeah, I've found that with gravity in a lot of games, it's difficult to get it right. And I've decided to go with this one for you jump higher, but also you fall faster. Also, there's no double jump. And the reason why there's no double jump is because I want it to be unlocked later on. And you can also break stuff as well, which people like doing. People like smashing pots. It's like a thing where like Legend of Zelda popularized, and I was like, oh, I can do that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with that game. It's just a matter of art, really. You need to post a meme related to someone breaking someone's pots, and then going apeshit. Yeah, it is something where it's like hard to come up with memes that make them popular. Like break CC's pots and have CC do a text-based rant, including the intro. That is something that I could, yeah. There are some funny jokes in it where people, they just come out of nowhere. And so people laugh at that. And they say that it's so me, which I like. I would have to, yeah, you have to earn the double jump. And it also allows me to like make the level, like to restrict some of the level design a little bit easier as well. At least in the early game. I need to make, like, when you've got a double jump, you need to account for double jumps. Same with wall jumping. You need an ability that relies on staying hydrated. That's probably a little bit too much, I would say. A little bit too much for like a simple platformer game that's also an RPG. But I might have there'll be certain abilities that you will unlock. It's just like the matter of making them unlock and actually making sure that there is an animation for all of them, because you do have to. I think some of the hardest things is coming up with like unique animations and stuff, because I've been able to come up with particle effects and stuff for certain things by using a certain particle editor that I downloaded. And oh, Jessica says, cool, I didn't know you did lives. Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a live stream so schedule it in the first Monday or Sunday, depending on where you live, of each month. that's the day that I'm going to go live. It's a fun thing. I feel like it's a way for me to be more expressive of just random stuff. You know, half of these live streams don't get monetized, and for some of them I can see why. For some of them it's just so I think it was that. And I don't know if this one's going to get monetized. There's a few things that may get in the way, but we'll see. Hopefully YouTube is like, you're a good girl this time, and decides to let it be monetized. But then, like, yeah, it is something where it is something where it's like just a fun thing to do, and to interact with people in the chat as well. I will start watching my language in chat from now on. No, it's nothing in chat. It's completely to do with what I talk about, I think. If I say too much of something... If you swear too much, then it demonetizes you. If you talk about certain subjects, it demonetizes you. I think I've stayed relatively safe, but we'll see. I also want to do like more debates as well. Because here's one of the things that I didn't talk about when it came to the good stuff. Because I may also have the ability to get on ADHD medication. It will cost about $500 or so, possibly more. Sorry. It will cost some money to get on ADHD medication. But if I do, I will be unstoppable in debates. Can you imagine me being focused in a debate? Because I have done debates where I have done all right, and actually I saw a thing recently where someone tagged me calling Austin Whitsitt out for basically saying that there was a time where I actually called him out, and this person's essentially was referencing me calling him out. And it's like, hell yeah, I called that guy out. And so if I was actually more focused during debates and able to stay on, not just stay on topic, but more easily able to formulate my ideas on the spot, I would be unstoppable. I'd be able to be like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, answer my question. Answer my question. If you don't answer my question, you don't know... if you don't answer my question, then you clearly don't know what you're talking about, because this is a question that is fundamental to what we're talking about. Like when I called out, I think it was Austin Whitsitt, I can't remember whether it was Austin or Jaron. Basically, I asked him, what is the formula for Snell's law? Because he was talking about needing to do like a calculus and stuff, and technically there is calculus in Snell's law. Technically, I think, don't quote me on that, but it's one of those things where Snell's law, if you do the maths and you use Snell's law, you don't need to worry. He was saying about spherical geometry or something like that, and so I asked, can you tell me what Snell's law is for like refraction? Because I think it came up to refraction. It's like you have to do some special spherical geometry, and it's like, okay, what's Snell's law for refraction? And he couldn't answer that because he didn't know what he was talking about. He likes to pop out words, but that's it. And if I was able to focus more, I would, like, you would see Fleurs running terrified, because I am respectful. At least I'd like to think of myself as respectful. I know that Fleurs don't think of me as respectful, but, you know, that is a thing. But like, I'm a lot more respectful than some other people out there, you know. MCToon is also quite respectful, which is why Austin Whitsitt runs scared from MCToon. But it is something where I am also very respectful. I get excited, but that doesn't mean that I'm trying to... when I get excited, it's like, I'll be like, oh, yes, let me do this thing. And I get excited sometimes, and I want to... And it's like, so I'll be a bit louder and I guess more aggressive, but it's not a fuck you kind of thing. And also Jessica, after saying that, I guess that'll Jessica allows me to say that kind of stuff, saying to the demonetization fund, and thank you, Jessica. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but you can tell me if I am or not. But yeah, essentially when it comes to that kind of stuff, I feel like I'm a lot more respectful than a lot of other people. There are a lot of people that do try to make things a shouting match, and to be fair, like, a shouting match is fun. If I'm getting into a shouting match, I will make sure that it's Jessica. Okay, I did not realize that. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I'll try to remember that. But yeah, if there is a shouting match that I'm getting into, I will not shout. I'll be the calm person, and because when you start shouting, you look bad. Even if the other person is the first to start shouting, you look bad if you respond with shouting. And I find that is one of the problems that FTFE has, where he will get a bit too aggressive, and that does look bad. But it is something where I think for FTFE it is more the entertainment value that he provides, which people like. Anyone have any updates on his situation? Is that the... because I heard that he had a pretty bad fall. Yeah. I've heard a bit from him. I don't know how much I can share, because when I saw that, I sent him a message to make sure he's okay. Because, yeah, it was... I did try to make a joke. Hopefully it wasn't in bad taste. Because he said about how... there was... apparently he hit the radiator and then hit his walking stick, and I said 2-on-1 seems a bit unfair. Trying to lighten things up, because the way that I deal with bad things is through humor. Some people don't find it appropriate. I think that it's a good way to kind of not have everything so tense. I don't know, I just don't like the tension when something bad happens and it's like, being all super serious. It's like, I want to, like, lighten the mood. I want things to be going good. I want people to be happy. Haven't heard any... He posted publicly what happened, just haven't seen any post... Yeah, I haven't heard anything since that. Humor is a coping mechanism. Telling you that you can't joke about something may be telling someone that they're not allowed to cope. Yeah, exactly. I prefer to use humor, and I feel like it's a good way to, like, sure, sometimes I do get when humor can be a bit inappropriate. If the humor feels like it's making fun of someone, and that's what I try to avoid. I try to avoid humor that makes fun of someone's situation. But if it's like trying to lighten the situation, then I feel like it's okay. Like, if I'm making fun of someone for being in a situation, like, haha, you got owned, then that's mean. That's just mean. And I try to be kind. I know that people probably don't think it because I debunk a lot of flat earthers, but at the end of the day, I think that there's a difference between being mean and a difference between talking about someone having bad beliefs. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people miss. And also, like, I don't have a problem with being mean to people that are themselves vile people, like Matt Powell, like Matt Walsh. There are some people where I find that it's okay. Basically, you got to judge character, right? And so I try to be respectful until I have a reason to not be respectful. Even with Dean Wright, I feel sorry for Dean, honestly, because he's been dragged down this rabbit hole. I don't want to, like, I try not to make too much fun of him, because it is something where I feel more sorry for him than anything else. I hope he's doing okay, because he really doesn't seem like he is doing okay. That's something that I try to be mindful of, is that not everyone is entirely responsible for the situation they're in. And it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't realize all the time. They kind of think, oh, well, you got yourself into the situation, so you have to get yourself out. And it's like, no, I want to be respectful, so that if people sometimes feel like they can't get out of a situation, even if they want to. That's kind of the whole cult thing, right? They try to stop you from leaving a cult, and because you're in the cult, it's like, okay, well, if I leave, then I won't have any friends. All these people that I know will... They'll be disappointed in me or whatever. I don't care that Matt Powell and Hogan believe in God, or that they're stupid. I have a problem with the bigotry and they're using their religion as an excuse and a cudgel. Yeah, exactly. I don't have a problem with people being religious. You know, you can be religious. I do think that religion in general is not that great, because it can lead people to have beliefs that they otherwise wouldn't have that can be harmful to them. We do see a correlation between religion and between conspiratorial thinking. There's also a link between being right-wing and conspiratorial thinking, but I think that often comes down to the right being more religious than the left. And so I think that when it comes to the whole... where was I going? Yeah, when I think that it comes to religion, I think that its harm is more in leading people towards ideas that are not good, that are in general not good for people. And that's how people... And, like, one of the easiest ways to start a cult is to be a religious leader, right? Like, you want to start a cult like Mormonism or Jehovah's Witness, become a religious leader, and people will follow you. And then you go, oh, I've seen revelation from God, this is what, you know, and sure, you'll lose a lot of followers, but the ones that remain will be very loyal. This is not advice on how to start a cult. Don't start a cult, please. Cults are bad. The religion isn't why they're hateful, and why... The religion isn't why they're hateful and why they attack those that are different. They use it as a shield. Their religion gives them the right or obligation to act the way they act. I think to some extent you're right, but I also think that people also do take what they believe from their religious values, or they're being told to believe. I think a lot of people are told, hey, this is what our religion says about this issue. Like, you see this all the time with abortion. The Bible doesn't condemn abortion. If anything, it actually has a verse that supports abortion. So it is one of those things where people are told, oh, okay, well, the Bible is against abortion, so therefore abortion is wrong. And it's something that stems from their religious beliefs, but isn't because of that religion necessarily. It's because of people in that religion telling them what their religion is about. The Bible also says people are not meant to judge, and that only God has the right to judge. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of them will say very judgmental stuff, you know, as if they know what God is thinking. Basically, I think their thinking is that, yes, God is the only person with the right, or God is the only being, should I say, with the right to judge. However, I know what God is thinking, so therefore I'm just telling you that God is judging you. I think that's a lot of the mentality that goes behind it. Maybe, I might be wrong, but the idea is that they say that it's speaking from God, which is against one of the 10 Commandments, by the way. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. You can't say that you're speaking on behalf of God. That is a sin. At least from what I've heard, that's what the taking the Lord's name in vain means. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to say, God damn it. It means that you're not allowed to act as though you're speaking on behalf of God. You're not allowed to act as though you have the knowledge of God. So yeah, I think that, yeah, it is very egotistical. It's like, I know what God wants, and God wants the same thing as me. Which, of course, me being God, I know what God wants. And God wants to get a bit of rest. And because God is a little bit eepy. You should do a I think I mentioned this earlier. I do want to reach out to people, and I've got one collab coming up, but I do want to do more collabs in the lead up to my Matt Walsh video, because it will be a big video. Don't want it to fail. Best way to not have it fail is to essentially have to essentially be like, okay, I'm collabing with this person, this person, this person. I actually have an idea concerning Sursik. I need to pretend that I have whiskey, though, or at least pretend that I've stolen whiskey. I'm God while sitting next to a purple demon plushie. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like that makes perfect sense. Like, absolutely it does. Given that, you know, like if I have domain over everything, then why would I be scared of a demon plushie? If you steal his whiskey, Kilian, you have to know this. I don't even like whiskey. It'll just be like I'll just say that something like, oh yeah, someone told me that whiskey will help. I don't like whiskey, but you know, I found this whiskey like sitting in a cellar, and then Sursik appears, and it's like, and then it's like, oh, guess the whiskey did help. A silly joke like that would be helpful. I just have to contact Sursik, and I should probably do so like shortly after the stream. You rub the bottle trying to read the label, and he pops out. That would be funny. That would be funny if he got sucked into a whiskey bottle. I don't have any whiskey bottles though, and I don't drink whiskey. Oh, I should ask like some of my friends if they have any whiskey bottles. I don't have any. I don't drink whiskey. That's the issue. I don't drink a lot of alcohol actually. Like if I'm going to the bar, I will order shots. Maybe I might order vodka, not vodka shots, but vodka mixes. Or actually, I do like gin and orange. Gin and orange. There's a place I go every time I get that. Hey Eva, how you doing? You have to have at least one viewer with an empty bottle of Jameson or something lying around. I'm sure I can find someone that I know that... Actually, I think I know someone that could probably easily get me an empty bottle of whiskey, and I'd just like fill it up with, I don't know... what's a whiskey-coloured drink? Maybe Coke. I don't drink Coke either, but at least Coke's cheaper than a bottle of whiskey. Fill it up with Coke and just like water it down so that it lightens the colour. A dark apple juice? Ah, I do like apple juice as well. I could do that. We've got some people just popping in. Gritmonger, and to think I was about to end because it felt like, oh, we got Jules No Color saying IB3VBC. I don't know what that means. I'm just assuming that. Oh yes, peach tea. That's in the right color zone as well. I'll probably like try to find something. I'll probably like try to find something to get the right color. And if people call me out, it's like, eh. It's it's a prop. I don't drink whiskey. I do know someone that might have a whiskey bottle though, so I'll message him to see if he can help me out. Like, I do live in a place that has a lot of people who are students, and students tend to drink. If there's anyone who drinks more than a sailor, it would be a student. I think I prefer rum, but I also prefer gin and orange. Just like something with like just gin and orange, because gin and orange just tastes like orange, and it has alcohol in it, which means that it can loosen me up. Also, I don't drink a lot in general, which is probably good for my liver, because I don't want my liver to be a deader. Milk with food colouring. Whiskey isn't really, if I remember correctly, whiskey isn't really a solid colour, is it? So milk with food colouring wouldn't be that great. At least not in terms of... I mean, if you want to have like a mixed kind of thing, but then like I might as well just buy some buy a mud shake. That's alcohol that I do like. Oh, there's also it's a particular type of alcohol. Bailey's is nice. Any whiskey will do for your prop purposes. Irish whiskey, American, bourbon, or whiskey or Scotch. So yeah, I'll just like see if like at the very least, if it looks like an alcoholic bottle, I can like rip the label off, and like maybe have my own paper label that I put on, and that makes it even more obvious that it's a prop, and then people are less likely to judge. Like if I get like a bottle of vodka, let's say, and then just like rip the label off, put on my own label. If I can rip the label off, because you tend to try to rip something like a label off, and then it's like, oh, there's bits that stick to it and come very hard. You gotta like really wash the bottle, which I'll probably do anyway, because I no longer have the Sambuca bottle as well. Okay, so Eva, I'll show you the awesome new flag. Let me open the thing up. So, in case you're wondering, because this is a flag that was intended to be against trans people. However, they accidentally made something that trans people decided, oh hey, this looks cool, we are going to adopt. And I think it is awesome. I think it is cool that we've kind of just adopted something that was meant to be a symbol of hate as something, yeah, we've basically reclaimed it. So this is the flag. Now obviously we kind of just get rid of the stuff that links it to the people that made it. But yeah, we've essentially just claimed this at our own, and it is fire. I would like to. Apparently, it was made using AI art or AI stuff. But hey, if someone wants to redesign, like give it a redesign, make it look a little bit cooler, then yeah. I think the giveaway that it's AI art, or at least to me, the giveaway is like the inconsistent amount of teeth. So adding. Okay, cool. And then like there's this random thing here. I can send you like the image, and like a higher quality version would be nice. This is the highest. Yeah, this is like low quality for like something that's high. Yeah, this is quite low quality, but I guess I didn't mean for it to be like a trans flag. But yeah, I'll redraw it in like 5. Yeah, that would be awesome. I can help you spread it. I will definitely. Yeah, if you want to redesign it, I'll say I'll give credit and spread it around. I think that would be cool. I'm definitely excited to have a new flag that looks awesome, and we've basically reclaimed it already. Well, can we even call it reclaiming? Because we kind of just claimed it. It feels like it didn't really have any time to stew as like anything hateful. We kind of like, yeah, that's ours now. Is it weird that I'm like the only cis girl that popped into this 3-hour stream? I feel like there were probably other people that like there might have been another cis girl that popped in at some time, but I can't remember. I have a memory of someone who can't remember everything that happens in a 3-hour span. I think that's very much usual. It's like sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this and I forgot to mention that. But like, everyone's welcome here, whether you're trans. Do you have? I feel like Barnabas Nagy probably has a worse memory than me, maybe. But I just can't remember everything all the time. Does Barnabas? I don't know what Barnabas Nagy's memory is like. It's like I just like I can't remember every single event that happened. It's like, oh, we got like I remember like Jessica saying that she's Jessica, and is that the Larnian Hydra? I don't know. It's just like a Hydra thing. That was meant, like, they tried to make it a hate symbol and we're like, no, that's ours now. That and I love it. When trans people can do some really cool stuff at times, which does involve being like, oh yeah, this is ours now. Like, I've known some people that have wanted to rob a bank, as I hope as a joke, but it's like, let's just rob a hate symbol of its hatred. I like the idea of that. Okay, yeah, we've got Fistral Niece saying 55-year-old cis straight woman here. Yeah. I feel like most of my audience is cisgender, which was probably a bad thing when I came out, because it meant that a lot of people left. Oh yeah, give me a second. I'll DM you this one so that you don't have to look at the Gays Against Groomers logo. Copy image. I almost sent it to the wrong person there. Eva, paste, send. Yeah, it's something where I did try to kind of cultivate my audience before coming out with videos that were trans positive, and that was a bit of that was a bit of effort, because it's like okay, I lost a few subscribers, but then when I came out I lost a lot of subscribers. Oh yeah, I have a Discord. It's always in the description. It's just like right down the bottom, and I'm gonna remove stuff from the description soon because I don't use them anymore. But also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so yeah, like I do think this could use a little bit of slight redesigning, some slight tweaks. Make things more consistently artful, but it's like a good base to start with, and I feel like using something that isn't AI, that has actually been drawn by a real person, is a lot better. Yeah, I just have a plain background and one without the symbols. Yeah, it can be something where it's depends what you want in your trans flag. Like there is no reason why this has to be the trans flag. Like it is a nice flag. I do like the pastel colors. I am very much a fan of that. But there's no reason why it has to be. There are it's like the Progress Pride flag, right? I like the one that has the trans and I think it's the one that has the trans colours on it, as well as the people of colour colours. I think it is the black and brown. I like that one. I quite like it. I think it's a cool flag. The intersex one, or the one that also has the intersex symbol on it, it's like, I feel like the circle doesn't quite fit, and like it's like one of those things where it's like very hard to add more and more stuff without it feeling like it's like, okay, well, maybe we just need something that represents everyone instead of trying to represent everyone with their specific things. That's why I still use the original flag, because I feel like this flag here is like, some people see it as just being the gay flag, but like I see it as just being the queer flag. You know, I think that it's representative of all queer people rather than just like gay people or anyone like that. And sure, there are individual flags that we all have. Like I do like the trans flag, but I think that there is, you know, it's up to like what you like, how you want to represent yourself. And like a Hydra trans flag, that I would definitely want one of those, even if I can't quite have the money to like get one. But that would be cool if I could. I do like this though. I will keep this regardless of whatever flag I also have. But yeah, also another thing is that I feel like sometimes it is like, for me, I use specific flags and that can communicate what type of queer I am, right? Like if I like, because a lot of people will see the gay flag and be like, oh, you're a gay dude. It's like, no. Or the like queer flag, it's like no, I am I am not a gay dude. I am a lesbian trans girl. But I'm also kind of bi, because there are some cute guys out there. And because a lot of people can't comprehend someone who's a lesbian trans girl. It just breaks their mind, because it's like, but you have that bit, right? And it's like, yes, but that's, I use it to be specific. Like, you know that I'm more, because of, like, if I just call myself a lesbian, you know that I'm more feminine. You know who I'm into. If I call myself gay, then that just communicates that I'm into people more like me, which, you know, everybody has different ideas of what that would mean. There's not a lot of decent pan flag merch for me to wear to represent. Yeah, that is unfortunate. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like pan is a very, so when it comes to being bi, I think that bi is a very accurate, is a very broad thing, should I say. And it can allow for you to be a bit more specific when it comes to me. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I'm lesbian, but I'm also bi-lesbian, because that is a thing you can be. Some people will say that it doesn't make sense, but I think that it makes perfect sense. It's like, yeah, I prefer girls, right? But dudes, they're okay. You know. I think like people like get really weird about it's like, but you call yourself a lesbian, you have to only be into girls, you have to only be into this particular type of person. It's like, no, it would be like me saying I feel like if I were to just say, oh, I'm bi, then people would feel like I'm equally into, and it's like, so I use things to be more specific about what I'm into, right? And it's like, yeah. And sometimes it can be helpful to use one label more than the other. And I feel like with pan, it's a very, like, pan is, to me, I see it as a type of bi. Because I see bi as kind of an umbrella term, which does include pan. But I see pan as being very specific to be like, yeah, I don't mind whatever gender you are. Yeah, I see pan as being, I don't mind what gender you are. It doesn't matter. If you are also attracted to both masc and femme presenting MBs, you might more accurately qualify as pan than bi. I am more attracted to femme MBs. Admittedly, I'm more attracted to femme people. That's why, like, the guys that I'm into are femboys and twinks, right? Yeah, and like, I do understand that some people do care about the plumbing. I personally don't really. Some of the people that I've hooked up, like a lot of the people I've hooked up with at this point, have definitely had the same kind of plumbing as me. Don't mind, as long as they're cute. That's all that matters, right? It's one of those things where I feel like a lot of people get so obsessed with whether they're gay or not that they do try to pay too much attention to that, where they wouldn't get with someone, like, even if, like, they wouldn't even get with a post-op trans woman, and it's like, because they're too scared of being gay. Red Fox Sheeny Show said, "You're a sound human planner." I think that's good. I think that's a compliment, right? And so, yeah. I do like compliments. I should probably end up the stream though soon. Chat is a really great distraction to have, but I do like also doing. I'm a sight human. I am a sight and sound human, and a audible human, and a tasty human, and a smelly I'm not doing a 24-hour stream, not right now. Though I would have to have other people to take over for me. That's not something that I have right now. I don't, and like, even if I did have them right now, I'd have to go like down to the basement, get them out, and bring them out. A 48-hour stream, that would I mean, longest I've been awake has probably been close to 48 hours, but I have needed to get some rest. So I'd need someone on rotation. Like, I saw Alison Wonder Ann's stream yesterday, and she had Chloe with her. So it's like, that kind of thing could be good for, like I could actually recommend Alice do a stream with Chloe, where, like, a 24-hour stream where Chloe, like, fills in for the night shift, then Alice comes back in. I got the two names mixed up, Alice and Chloe. You feel bad for Chloe? Yeah, maybe. Having to... Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's... Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. What am I to put in that? You put in all my other videos. Right, and... Yeah, I don't know where... I don't know where Chloe lives. So... But yeah, given that I do know that... Yeah, given what I do know about Alice, and I do know that she'd have had to have traveled a bit. Yeah, you could put. I need to do more debates as well. Like find me someone to debate. What's the next month? The next month is that I'll be doing a stream. Will be next month that I'll be doing a stream will be June. So they'll probably be doing like a I'll probably be doing like an Ask Me Anything about gender, about like, because it'll be a year since coming out. So I want to kind of be like, hey, ask me what my transition has been like and what coming out has been like. I mean, it's to some extent it's been great to be more me, but also it's been a little bit tough. Oh yeah, I'll definitely try to get on that. It's just a matter of finding someone to debate, because I definitely want to debate people on the trans issues. I've finally come around to a position on trans women in sports, and I want to see I want to see if anyone actually has a good argument to it. Because it's like, okay, let's agree that let's say that we agree that trans women do have an unfair advantage. You know, one thing that does give trans women an unfair advantage is testosterone. Or could give them an unfair advantage is testosterone. Just lower the limits. You can account for the advantages by changing the limits of testosterone. Maybe you say, okay, well, because trans women who have gone through a male puberty have this amount of have this advantage from have this advantage from their bone structure or whatever. Okay, well, let's just slightly lower the limits to a point where it is fair. That is something you can do. That it's not like we're dealing with something that we have to have things segregated. There are things that can be done. It's just that it's easier to try and push trans people out of trans sports. The transatlantic call-in show on the line would be perfect. Yeah, I don't know how to get onto those things. But yeah, I don't know how to get onto those things. So it'd be cool to like go onto one of those shows. But it's like one of those things where I don't know how to network my way onto one of those shows. That's why I like people telling me, hey, or saying, hey, here's these people, I can contact them or something. You know, it's like, that's what I prefer, because I'm terrible at networking, and that's, yeah, I suppose, but it's like, how do I like say, can I come on? I don't know how that works, because like, I don't want to be annoying is like the thing. I hate feeling like I'm annoying, and that is something that I worry that I am a bit annoying sometimes. Okay. There's a new study, I'll link it later. Okay, I'll if you link it in my Discord, that'll be good. Okay, cool. Anyway, I am going to I think Ava might have sent me a work in progress, so I don't know if Ava's okay with me showing it on stream. No, she hasn't. Okay, cool. Anyway. I saw a message that looks interesting. I'll be careful with the debates. It's easier for the format to encourage bad things, and it's hard to not get the truth trampled by good rhetoricians. Yeah, and that's why I want to start ADHD medication, because I feel like if I start ADHD medication, then I can be a bit more focused and catch things a lot more easily. Whereas with ADHD, it's like someone can sneak things past me that it's... yeah. It's always good to have the latest information if you're going to dig into trans women sports topic. Yeah, absolutely. It's something where there's a lot of information out there, and people have different have different studies, and it's easy to claim that something is the definitive study, but it's one of those things where we do need to consider like a lot more than just, oh hey, will this oh hey, this one study says the thing that this one study agrees with me. Yeah. Anyway, I am going to skedaddle. Any last words, chat? I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to skedaddle. Hope you all have a great day. Hopefully me delivering some positive stuff has been a change of pace. I like delivering... I think it would be nice to be a bit more positive in the trans community. I do like the idea of positivity, and yeah. So I will see you all in the next stream. Make sure to tune in every... I'll try to put like a thing where it's like this time at this on this time zone. It's the first Monday of every month New Zealand time. That means that you're in the UK, then it will be like the first Sunday of every month. Or if in the US, it will be the first Sunday of every month. And if you're in Australia, good luck catching it. So I will see you in that stream or the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching. And yes, I will go drink